You can hear in the background the teams are out at Ibrox. It's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. This should be an absolute classic on the south side of Glasgow this evening. It's Rangers against Jagiellonia in the third qualifying round of the Europa League with Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
It's been a pretty tepid start to life as Rangers manager for Derek McInnes. 3 games in, yet to find a victory. The draw at Dundee United, followed by successive 2-1 defeats against Hibs here at the weekend and in the northeastern Polish city of Białystok a week ago. However, that is retrievable with the second leg here in Glasgow, and a sunny night, bright blue skies above here as the 2 captains down below us, Lawrence Shankland to the right of the halfway line and Taras Romanchuk, the Ukrainian-born skipper of Jagiellonia, who is a Polish citizen, former Ekstraklasa Player of the Year and the heartbeat and veteran of the visiting side. That poor start for Rangers has continued really where they left off last term. They've actually, incredibly, lost 6 of their last 8 competitive games going back into last season following Sunday's defeat here. They've been beat by Hibs twice in that run, as well as Motherwell, Hearts, Celtic and in Poland last week. They've also lost their last 3 competitive games at Ibrox. Those 2 against Hibernian and the 1 against Motherwell, as Derek McInnes looks for a whole lot better tonight. They had to cobble a team together, try and get the better of last season's 3rd best team in Poland. Pandur in goals, Sterling, Makiana and Fernandez at the back. Yokota, Neil, Raskan and Gassama across the middle, with Askarov, Shankland and Naderi. Romans joining Yusuf Sharmiti on the sidelines. And there are others there as well. Mohamed Diamonde has since departed. There will be others to leave, there will be others to arrive as the Greek referee prepares to get things underway. Just about bang on 7:30. The schedule kick-off time. Rangers will kick off right to left as we watch from the main stand, shooting towards the Broomloan Road end. The blue shirts with the white pinstripes, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, and Asgard turns it back to Raskan. Jagiellonia in their Partick Thistle colours, the red and yellow, as they were last week. And it's picked up by Sterling wide in the right, pumps the long ball forward. It's headed away by the former Celtic defender Kobayashi, who breaks to Naderi, the towering Rangers striker on the far side, and he wins a throw-in level with the edge of the D of the visitors' box. Can Rangers get that early goal that Derek McInnes is craving here, Stephen Thompson?
Oh, he would love it, wouldn't he? He would absolutely love it, and I think every supporter inside Ibrox here would love it as well. We're just going to get a long throw. I didn't know Lawrence Shankland had a long throw in him, but he's going to launch one into the box here, Liam.
Well, he tried one against Dundee United and it slipped out of his hands. So that one's made the box that he's taken too long. It's going to be a Jagiellonia ball. And the looks of things, the ref had the 5-second counter on there, and Shankland has to forfeit the throw-in, which would have been coming into the Jagiellonia box. It will now be a defensive throw-in to be taken by Guilherme Montoya, who scored that early own goal that had Rangers 1-0 up last week. They've given it away straight to Nikola Raskan, who goes back to Yokota and then onto the halfway line for Sterling. Low ball back to Manuel Fernandez, who's the anchor in that back 3 for Rangers, out to Makanya on this near side, the South African with the long ball forward. It's headed away by Vital at the edge of his own box, and out it goes for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. They've got to try, as the Poles make a noise over in the visiting Govan West corner over there, they've got to try and get the crowd involved in a positive fashion here.
Yeah, the only way to do that, Liam, is to play attacking football, get efforts in goal, playing Jagiellonia's final third.
It's visitors, though, who collect the ball with Anders Klange, the Dane, who joins from Boda Glimt, and it's sent out to this right-hand side for Conceição, who's going to try and test Fernandez here, chops back onto his left, chips the ball into the box, was missed there by Makanya, comes off the Jagiellonia player, and behind it was off Imaz, and that will be a goal kick to Rangers. It could have been worse there, though.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of exactly what this team will do all evening long, and that is counter-attack at speed with numbers. This time it was out to the right-hand side, Conceição getting the ball, he chops inside Fernandez and just about manages to get a toe in the way Fernandez as the ball came into the box, and then think it was Prelec couldn't quite get a hold of it, but they will do that constantly tonight, and it's something Rangers need to be really aware of.
Coverage of Scandia against Hibs continuing on the other Radio Scotland frequency on Extra and 810 medium wave. Staggered kick-off times tonight. This one 7:30. Hibs got underway in North Macedonia at 7 o'clock. Hearts Benfica at 7:45. Motherwell Hojeko Helsinki just kicking off at the same time as this one, as Jagiellonia under pressure. The goalkeeper, he's done well actually, rolled it down his byline there to Abramovic, and they've managed to play it out from the back successfully, and out to the left it goes to the Portuguese left back Montoya, who slips it in field there for Romanchuk. Pings the long ball with the left foot out to the right hand side where Conceição is in space. Gets it under control level with the Rangers penalty spot, looking to cross, does so, takes a deflection, flicked header along the 6-yard line, is nodded clear by Sterling. Shanklin back trying to help, but it's going to break out to Montoya again wide in the left. Jagiellonia up the pitch here, threatening the opening 3.5 goalless minutes. That's turned back the way, just to the edge of the centre circle. There for the number 5, Vital. He's playing to Kobayashi's right. Into Montoya wide in the left, midway inside Rangers territory. Moves into a left central position. Squares the ball there. Going to try and get teammates involved. It's eventually shifted out to the right flank for Conceição. Plays it back in field for Dušek, the right back. And then to Vital, right of the centre circle. But it's some nice early possession here for the visitors as it's played forward. Chip ball clear by Macania on his 18-yard line. Yokota's ball forward is cut out comfortably by Kobayashi and eventually comes back to the goalkeeper. It is Rangers 0, Jagiellonia 0. Very much in the infancy of this one though in Govan.
Yeah, and two of the early passages of play, they're enjoying a lot of possession here, but two of the earlier passages of play that involved a switch out to this right-hand side to Conceição. He's another one.
Yeah, he's offside here, and the lines where he wasn't even up with play.
Yeah,
you could tell he was offside.
Have come with Gassama. His start position in those two occasions was incredibly high, so it means that the left-sided centre half's got to really bust himself to get out to the touchline to try and cover it. I don't know whether Derek's asked his wing-backs to start it with that high position to be really aggressive because it's the home tie, but it's something they've got to be wary of.
The winners of this tie will face the Georgian champions Iberia Tbilisi, who defeated the Northern Irish champions Larne the other night, Tuesday night. They needed extra time though to win 2-1 on the night and 2-1 in aggregate. The losers drop into the Conference League playoff and will play the Czechs Jablonec, who won earlier on this evening. Here's Yokota for Rangers, driving down the right, good change of pace, drives it across and wins the corner. The first of the night. The first comes for Rangers, 0-0, 5.5 on the clock.
And it's wing back to wing back really, because Gassama gets the ball, does a lovely spin in the halfway line into Raskin, who sweeps it out to the right hand side to Yokota, and he wants to take his full back on. He does that, gets to the byline, defender managed to just get a toe in at the expense of the corner that Asgard's going to swing in.
Out swinger right in front of the Jaga supporters. Over on the Rangers right as they attack the goal to the left. Asgard takes in towards the 6-yard line, just a bit away from Fernandez, does break out to Gassama, takes a touch and chips it back in. Raskan wins the initial header, it's still alive, and there it's half away. Neil slides it back forward towards the 6-yard line, Kobayashi clears. Still Rangers come though, it's at the edge of the box, a volley at goal, which the goalkeeper beats away. It's Macania up from the back who leather that towards goal, and then Gassama goes down on the edge of the box. Wagging the finger from the referee denies Rangers a free kick. I think it would have been right on the edge of the penalty area. It didn't look like a foul, to be fair, as Dan Neil picks up the scraps and forces it forward to Asgard. Now Raskan shifted out to the right for Yokota, who signed on effectively the day of the game last week, at least it was announced on the day of the game. Then comes the cross for Rangers from the right-hand side from Sterling. It's headed away. Poor ball out of defence. Can the hosts capitalise on it? Naderi to Raskan. Right-hand side's pulled across. And the effort's saved there. It was Shanklin 6 yards from goal. First time, didn't catch it cleanly. And Abramovic holds on to it. But Lawrence Shanklin absolutely desperate for that first Rangers goal. Yeah. It stays 0-0 on 7 minutes.
And you can hear the reaction it got from the crowd. We're in 7 minutes into the match, as you rightly point out. It was good football from Rangers. Jagiellonia really struggling to clear their lines. A wee 1-2 the edge of the box to Sterling, I think it was, who eventually put the ball across the face of the 6, and it was Shanklin there. He didn't make as good a contact with it as I think he would have liked, and in the end, Abramovich able to save it quite comfortably, but positive from Rangers.
Foul by Asgard on this near side in Conceição. Free kick for Jaga. Just a few yards inside their own half. Remember, the Poles leading 2-1 on aggregate. It's out to the right, Conceição just shifts it back in field for Imas. Down the line to Conceição again. We'll have a little go at Macania here potentially. Turns back to face his own goal. Finds Wojtuszek. Rolls it back to Vital, who's deferred to the Greek Konstantopoulos this evening. Konstantopoulos started the first leg of this tie. Vital started the league game at the weekend as they were beaten for the first time this season, 2-0 at home. A game the manager refused to postpone between the legs of this tie. Prelec picks up for Jagiellonia and shifts it wide left. Chance here for Smits. Dancing down towards the byline, pulls it back, block, corner, first of the match for Białystok.
Yeah, you know Smits, whenever he gets the ball, is going to try and take on whoever's marking him. Derek McInnes furious down below us. I think it was because Rangers didn't pick up the second ball in the middle of the pitch when it was cleared by the defenders, and that allowed Białystok to then mount another attack. It's a corner kick for them.
Yeah, the longer this wait for a victory goes on for Derek McInnes, the harder his life's going to become. Saw what happened to Russell Martin a year ago, and he made a better start than McInnes has. He won a couple of European games for a start. As Jagiellonia take the corner, it's swung in and headed down by Romanchuk. It's wide though. Pandur wasn't sure. He dived just to make sure he was covering the back post there, the near post, as the Jaga skipper was looking at it. And 9 minutes in, it's goalless.
Yeah, it was a difficult one for Romanchuk to get in the end of. Really, it was a very high floaty cross to the back post. Really difficult to generate power. He managed to get it towards goal, but I don't think he was ever getting it on target. Hit the side net.
Yeah, the Conference League opponents, Jablonec beat RFS of Latvia 2-1 earlier, 4-1 in aggregate, they go through. It's the Georgians that Rangers want to be playing next week. The first leg will be at Ibrox, no matter which competition Rangers drop into. Macania picks up for Rangers, rolls it out low to Raskan on the far side, up the line for Shankland, and now Jokota. And it bounces it off the defender Montoya, and out for a Rangers throw-in, which Jokota takes back the way to Raskan into his own half for Sterling, and back to Pandur. 10 minutes in, Stephen, what are you making of it?
Yeah, it's been fairly even in all honesty, Liam. A couple of half chances for both. Lawrence's obviously the best chance of the match so far. Jagiellonia are showing that they're well capable of keeping the ball when they have to.
Shankland's first time ball forward, looking for Naderi, but it's going to come right through to Abramovich, who plays it short to his right for Vital. He's not the tallest of centre-backs. The number 5, another Portuguese in the team, former Portugal under-21 international. In fact, he played at the under-21 Euros in 2023 with former Rangers striker Fabio Silva amongst current senior internationals like João Neves and Pedro Neto. As the Rangers supporters berate another decision by the referee to award Jagiellonia a free kick. It remains Skendia 0, Hibernian 0, Motherwell 0, HJK 0. Those matches in the third qualifying round for the Conference League. Long ball forward by Vital, comes sailing all the way through to Pandur over the head of Prelec, and it's with the Rangers goalkeeper. Noticed the other day Jack Butland went down to Hull City. He's injured and he's going to be out for months by all accounts. Pandur's replaced him as Rangers number 1. What's your early thoughts on him?
Yeah, I like the look of him, Liam. He's decent with the ball at his feet. Not really had to see him make too many saves.
Here comes Jokota up the other end, low ball across, takes a deflection. Rangers will get a corner, it's their second. This time over on the left-hand side, Taylor Asgard's already all over it.
Yeah, when he gets the ball, he just wants to take people on. You can see he's a very dangerous character. On that occasion, again, the defender just getting a toe to it. Narrowly went by Naderi at the back post, but goes out for a corner. It's going to be an in-swinger this time from Asgard.
Kind of inauspicious first half last week, Taylor Asgard.
Yeah,
all these kind of flicks, yeah, all these flicks that weren't paying off, and one led to the second Jaga goal as he takes the corner towards the back post. The goalkeeper gets a little touch onto it. Fernandes picks up, but the referee's whistle will annoy the Rangers supporters some more. And it will stay Rangers 0, Jagiellonia 0, and the visitors have a free kick inside their own box. Shankland protesting.
Yeah, goalies always get that free kick though, don't they? He's under pressure, he tries to get a fist on it, he doesn't really get a great contact with the ball, ends up on the deck, and he gets a free kick.
Yeah, lots of changes, including in the dugout, but the hangover for Rangers seems to have continued from the tail end of last season when their title bid just went into free fall post-split. They've still not really recovered from that. Let's go to Amy Canavan, who's watching Motherwell take on Helsinki at Fir Park. Amy, finally poised at 1-1, of course.
Finally poised at 1-1, Liam, yep, and finally poised at 0-0 here on the night. 12.5 minutes in, it's been a bright start. Alfred Johansson wanted an aggressive approach, and I have to say HJK have came out
problems
very
for Rangers here. Jagiellonia through. Jagiellonia through. Imaz with a shot, bounces off the left-hand post, and Rangers get it away to safety. We'll get back to Amy in just a moment, but one long ball and the Rangers defence was wiped out entirely, Stephen.
They have got away with one there. Honestly, it hits the inside of the post and goes across the face of goal. A really big opportunity for them, and it was actually a wonderful pass, a threaded pass through. I thought he was going to go wide.
There's a cross ball to the back post. Conceição heads it down, touch towards goal, and Pandur holds on. And the Rangers supporters imploring their players to wake up. Here is Imaz again as he came back into the box. He prodded it for goal, and the Rangers keeper holds on. A couple of bullets dodged.
Yeah, very much so. The first one was an excellent pass through. I mean, he couldn't have really done much more with it. I think he probably thought it was in himself. Comes off the inside of the post, and then Rangers don't really get it cleared properly. A really deep cross to the back post. Gassama sleeping a wee bit, and Imaz knocked it back across the face, but I think it was Prelec who was in the middle, couldn't get any contact or good enough contact with it to take it past.
Yeah, it was Imaz. It was Imaz who did touch, yeah. Listen, apologies to the Motherwell supporters and apologies to Amy Canavan. Amy.
Your apologies are just about accepted, Liam. That's quite all right. I was just going to tell you about Jake Girdwood-Wright just heading into the side net, and that's probably as good as you're going to get from me. And it's probably as good as it's been for Motherwell here as well. The defender just managing to get on at the back post. It was a decent ball and looped back in, by Lucas Fadinger, who is the captain tonight. But as I was just saying, HJK also very aggressive. Ibrahim Said is taking a little bit too long sometimes when he's going back and doing his defensive duties. And yeah, the Finnish side are not messing about here. They are in the mood to score some goals. Good game, 0-0.
And 1-1 on aggregate. Here Rangers still trail 2-1 on aggregate, but it could be so much worse, Stephen Thompson.
It really could, Liam. And you know, I think this team of what they are doing is showing that they're not. There's a wee chance.
Brilliant from Yokota, hitting the byline, pulls it across, comes off the defenders, Kobayashi, and then swept to safety by Wojtuszek. Another chance for Rangers, though. Yokota looks in the mood on that right side.
He does, yeah, looks sharp.
Daniel picks up for Rangers, out to Gassama wide in the left. 15.5 goalless minutes in. Gassama changing pace. Wojtuszek with a challenge. No free kick, no. Yes, it was. In fact, the ref's given it. He kind of fell onto the floor there between Gassama and the ball, which impeded Gassama's ability to get back onto it.
I think it hit his hand. I think I saw the referee point to his hand there. I think he's given it for handball.
He was on the floor when he did it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he must have been. But it's a great opportunity this for Rangers. Only about 15 yards out on the angle to swing it right into the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's almost bang level with the penalty spot here.
But we said before the game, you know, Jagiellonia are a dangerous team on the counter-attack. They've not shown any signs of coming here and wanting to sit in, and they're going to try and get up into Rangers half as much as possible.
Tilo Asgard. Oh, wait a minute though, the ref's coming over to the monitor. Now, we had something like this on Sunday at Ibrox. You'll remember the penalty Hibs were awarded in the first half, and something has been alerted by the VAR team to the referee. It's a Greek officiating team tonight.
Which team is the question?
Angelos Evangelou is the VAR, and the referee's coming over to have a look at it. We do not have replays here. We have not a hint of a monitor. So again, like the guys who were in this very gantry on Sunday for that penalty that Hibs were awarded, which was subsequently converted by Josh Campbell, we're as in the dark as they were, but the ref's seen enough of the monitor. He's walking back onto the pitch now, makes the sign of the TV, and he's pointed to the spot. Rangers have a penalty, and it looks like whatever the infringement was, it was the former Celtic defender Yuki Kobayashi, who was the offender there. What a bonus this is for Rangers, and Lawrence Shankland has the ball in his arms.
I think it's for handball. I watched Raskin a couple of minutes ago when a cross got flashed in, and he was kind of appealing, but it was half-hearted, and the play quickly changed, and various things happened after that. But as we know, VAR can take their time a wee bit, and obviously the referee stopped play, came over to the monitor, and like Liam says, we don't have the monitors here in the stadium.
But what a moment this is for Lawrence Shankland, seeing your old teammate.
Yeah, a massive moment for him. This is exactly what Rangers need here just before they get close to 20 minutes in the game, and exactly what Lawrence needs.
Yeah, normally so reliable from the spot. We've seen that down the years at any club he's been at, including Hearts last season. Lawrence Shankland stands. The goalkeeper in the middle of his goal, Abramovich, waits. The referee waits. Lawrence Shankland waits for his first Rangers goal. Here he goes. Scores! The relief palpable from Shankland personally, but from the Rangers supporters collectively, because the new Rangers skipper squares this Europa League third qualifying round tie. It is Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 1. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0, and 2-2 in aggregate.
Yeah, it's a brilliant penalty from Lawrence under severe pressure, you've got to say. The goalkeeper guesses to his right-hand side, and Lawrence puts it right down the middle. Really, really assured penalty kick from him, and that's just what Rangers need. This crowd, especially after those two really kind of scary moments with the shot off the post and the back post effort coming in as well.
And I managed to get the scoreline right in the end there as well.
You got there in the end, Liam, and that's all that matters in life.
Yeah, to just think what the aggregate was there is Zimas up the other end, forces a save from Pandur, left-hand side of the box, let fly with the left foot, and the keeper dived to his left to keep it out. And it goes out for a throw-in on this near side to the visitors. Now, Rangers took the lead last week, and Jagiellonia turned it back round in their favour in the space of about 15 minutes.
You just can't be sure that this Rangers team are capable of keeping a clean sheet. That's the big issue for them.
And driving down the left here with Schmitz, pulls it back. It's Prelets on the turn. His attempted cross ball from the left cut out the left angle of the 6-yard box by Dan Neil, and Rangers come away with Shankland holding off his man, but it's a good challenge back there in the end by Romanchuk. And Shankland just losing out on that occasion in the 50-50.
Yeah, it's not his main attribute, Lawrence, is it, when he picks the ball up, having to drive the space himself, and Romanchuk does well, shows a bit of pace to get back and just get a toe in ahead of Lawrence.
And here Ibrox now, the Rangers supporters very much with their team. You felt they needed the first goal tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's Kobayashi picking up left of the centre circle, just rolls it to his left for Montoya, and then back to Kobayashi, who was on the receiving end of a 3-0 defeat in one of his rare appearances for the Celtic first team. His partner Carl Starfelt at the heart of the Celtic defence. They lost 3-0, albeit his teammates had already won the title by that point, as Rangers pick up a free kick level with the edge of the centre circle on this left side. Smiles from Derek McInnes down below us, and he's not been afforded many of those since he took the reins here.
Well, it's his first goal that's not been an OG, albeit it's not come from open play either, but any goal, I'm pretty sure will bring a smile to his face right now.
And Shankland, he's made just about 500 club appearances in his career. That's his 236th goal.
Frightening.
Fabulous goal-scoring record. Yes, they're not all at the top level, but he proved over his years at Hearts that he can very much score at the top level in this country. As Asgard battles for it, breaks back to Dan Neil, left centre side here, attacking the final third. Eventually swamped by numbers because Sama pitches it back and drives towards the edge of the box. Looks to slip it out to Yokota on the right, just too much on the pass though. And it was behind for the goal kick, and it will stay Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0.
He didn't need to put as much on it, Liam. He did well to kind of force his way in the pitch, and Yokota had made a decent run on the right-hand side. He just had to slide that in. He tries to put a wee bit extra whip on it, and it ends up running out for the by kick.
Still Motherwell 0, HDK 0 on the night, and 1-1 on aggregate in that one. Hibs 0-0 in North Macedonia against Skendia. and coverage of that continuing on the other frequency in BBC Radio Scotland, on Extra 810 medium wave and on digital, here on FM and sounds, and of course at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. Rangers with a lead on the night and 2-2 in aggregate, and we've played a quarter of this second leg. Now just the top tier of the Copeland Road end off to our right, shielding their eyes from the evening sunshine here in Glasgow. It's the long ball for Naderi, came off his head I think, and trying to keep it in play is Asgard at the byline. The defender is on the deck there, Vital, and eventually it's gone Rangers' way. Throw-in only though, I think, down by the corner flag.
Good refereeing for me, that, Liam. Vital felt the pressure coming from Asgard and threw himself to the ground. So often you see referees give free kicks in favour of the defender there, but there wasn't that much contact from me, and he let it go. Rangers now have the throw-in.
It's bowled back to Raskan, midway inside Jagiellonia territory. Square ball for Fernandez, who does likewise for Sterling. Out to Yokota, over on the right. And he turns it back to Sterling, who finds Fernandez in the centre circle and rolls it with the right foot to the left for Macania. It's not a great ball for Dan Neil though, it's been mopped up by Cleange. And then the switch there by Schmidt out to this near side, just gets away from Prelets and out for a Rangers throw-in. And they've got to try and take advantage of the fact they've got that goal, they've got the crowd behind them, they've got the wind behind them as well now, perhaps not literally because it's a pretty benign night, but got the wind in their sails with that Shanklin penalty conversion.
They do, Liam. They do, yeah. That's got to be a foul. Oh, he's giving it the other way. Like Naderi had the holder. Vital shut. But yeah, you're right. But they're being bold. Jagiellonia, they're leaving plenty of players up the pitch. At times, 4 of them all across the front. But maybe just Emaz coming off, dropping off the game in and around Dan Neil. But certainly not sitting in, that's for sure.
There is a financial disparity between the Europa League and the Conference League. It's nowhere near as dramatic as the Champions League down, but Rangers want to be in the Europa. They've, with the exception of last season, got a pretty good record in that tournament. Vital rolls it out to Wojciech on the near side, up the line it goes, and little ball back by Emaz, back to Wojciech, clips it forward there for Prelets, holding off Dan Neil, but his ball in field, gives it away, and it's Raskan onto it for Rangers. Scampers away from a couple of challenges, he goes for the spectacular, well over the crossbar. And we know that Nikola Raskan got plenty of talent. I'm not sure scoring 25, 30-yard worldies is one of them. Let's go to Brian McLaughlin, half-time in North Macedonia, where Hibs are taking on Skendia, and with a 2-1 lead going into that second leg. Brian.
Yeah, so far so good, Liam. It's 0-0 here in the heat in Skopje. Hibs certainly been ending the half much the better team, although Skendia had a chance early on, a shot by Trezu just wide. But a good chance for the Lathan Low just before half-time. His effort was poor though, and straight into the arms of the Skendia goalkeeper Ramani. But so far so good for Hibernian. They're leading by 2-1 in aggregate, 0-0 here in the heat in North Macedonia.
Remains 0-0 at Fir Park. That Hibs game at half-time. They're 10 minutes in at Tynecastle. Hearts taking on Benfica. 0-0 in the second leg, though Hearts trailing 6-1 on aggregate. You think that ties over, Tomo?
Very good, Liam. Yeah, well done. You should see, harking back to, what was it, Dundee United were they playing?
AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah, was it 4-1 at half-time, 5-1?
Yeah. I'm not saying that the meme of you and John Rankin in the studio is a popular one, but let's find out how Hearts are betting into the second. I'm sorry, Tomo. Alan Preston's watching it. Al.
It's been decent enough. Benfica the better side. Liam John answered 2 shots at goal. First one over the top, the second a lovely move from Benfica. One touch passing, his left foot shot hit the side net, and wonderful night here at Tynecastle. Still 0-0.
Yeah, Hearts will at the very least have a stab at the Conference League playoff. Take on Rapid Vienna next midweek. First leg at home. I think Motherwell are the ones who got the short straw. It's been a long stoppage here for an injury to one of the Jagiellonia defenders. The game's back underway now. Motherwell got the short straw. They've got Freiburg. They go through, the runners-up in this tournament. Last season, beaten by John McGinn's Aston Villa. Put up a good show against PSG in the Super Cup last night, but ended up losing 2-1. See, McGinn was superb in that final 15-20 minutes of the first half in that game. Set up the Villa goal as Asgard picked it up, but the referee gave a free kick, and he's going to have to bring it back. They tried to take it too quickly. Jagiellonia, who are down to 10 men at the moment. Vital waiting to come back on. 27.5 on the clock. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0, and 2-2 overall. The bit stop-start just in these last few minutes.
Yeah, it has been, Liam. It gave the players an opportunity to get some drinks in, which is the one bonus for them.
Yeah, but it's not the searing heat that they were subjected to last week in Poland. My goodness, that was up there, one of the hottest games that I've been at, certainly. And that includes being in Miami in the summer of those Scotland game against Brazil.
Was it?
Did you hear about it? Here's Gassama for Rangers on this near side. He wins the throw-in. Midway inside Jagiellonia territory. 28 minutes played. Rangers squaring the tie through that Shankland penalty is first for the club. You'll hope it is the first of many. Macania waiting to take his throw. Down to 2 seconds there as he eventually takes it to Asgard. Stabs it back looking for Dan Neil. It's cut out by Imas though, who works the 1-2. He's wide right, still inside his own half. Slips it down the right touchline. Macania slides in and puts it out for a Jagiellonia throw-in. Something's irking Derek McInnes down there below us. He's a little bit annoyed about something. His team have got that goal and it's given them a foundation to build upon. Try and get through to the playoffs. Wojtuszek took the throw, got it back from Imas, and he went down, but it is Rangers who are going to be given the free kick on the near side for a foul on Jerry Gassama.
He did well, Gassama, to get his body in front of him. He knocked it past Gassama, and he did all he could to kind of stop him from getting in front of him, and eventually banged into the bars, into the back of him, comes to the ground, and linesman right beside it gave the free kick.
Pandur with the long ball forward with the right foot. The header is won there by Romanchik. Bounces off the head of Klinge, and then Raskan gets his head onto it. Goes back the way to Fernandez, but it's been collected over there by Kaitan Schmidt. Works it out to the left for Montoya. He's level with the Rangers penalty spot. Been challenging back by Sterling, and it comes off the Jagiellonia player. And behind with the goal kick to Rangers, who are 1-0 up on the night.
Brilliant play initially from Smith on the left-hand side, feeding Montoya, and he should have really put the cross in early. He tries to take an extra touch, and by that time Dejan Sterling's breathing down his neck, forcing him to run the ball out of play for the Rangers goal kick.
You're listening to European Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland, on FM and on Sounds, and at the website bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Keep up to date with the scorelines at any time at that website. The live text is up and running as usual as well, and you'll be getting the second half of Skendia Hibs 0-0 at half-time. Hibs maintaining their 2-1 lead as they try and get through the Conference League playoffs again, having narrowly missed out against Legia Warsaw a year ago. Macania with a throw-in for Rangers on the halfway line, forward to Gassama and back to Asgard, who rolls it back to Fernandez. Will then ping it out to the far side for Joketas to backtrack to get onto it, but get onto it he does. He plays it back to John Sterling, right of the centre circle, forward to Raskan and back to Fernandez. Rolls it out with the right foot to the left side for Macania. A big man from Durban who finds Fernandez, and then to the right of the circle for Sterling and out to Jokota, faced by Montoya. Back to Sterling and then back onto the halfway line for Fernandez, who rolls it to his left for Macania. Comfortable possession for Rangers. Can they do anything with it in an area that will hurt Jagiellonia Białystok? It is Dan Neil out wide left for Asgard. Now Gassama, poor ball forward, easily cut out by Conceição. Back to Wojtuszek, who finds Vital on the edge of his own box, and then forward to Romanchuk. And to Kobayashi just outside the D of his own box, where he strides forward up to left of the centre circle. Little ball with his right there to Montoya. 32 on the clock in the second leg. Romanchuk picks up for Jagiellonia, out to the left for Montoya. He's got Schmidt out there. Montoya goes with the early ball. Pandur gathers with Conceição hovering in behind him. Pulls it quickly out to Asgard, who gets it behind the defender and down the line for Gassama. Instead of charging forward, he cuts in field. It's Prelitz, his striker, doing the defending. He might well have been able to have a go at him there. Instead, it's in field to Yokota. He'll then roll it low out to the right for Raskan. Thought about the cross. He eventually does cross in. It's not the worst one. Comes off the head and behind for the corner of Romanchuk. And Rangers have a corner over on their right side as they attack the goal to the left. 33 played. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0, and 2-2 in aggregate.
It was an excellent ball in from Raskin, but before that, when Gassama cut in the pitch, he's kind of 1v1 and he's got about 40 yards to run into. He's pacey. For me, he's got to just take that ball down the line, test out the fullback, but cutting in the pitch and going into bodies. Eventually it worked out though, because the ball ended up at Raskin, who delivered in a decent cross.
Outswinger from Asgard. And Rangers get their noses in front in the tie. And it comes. Fernandez glanced away from him. Gassama picks up, level with the penalty spot, left side of the box, onto the right, back onto the left. Delicate chip ball's brilliant, and it's wide. It's come off a defender. No, it hasn't. It's come off a Rangers head last. Nikola Raskan at the back post. Couldn't force it home. It's a fabulous little deft ball to the back post there by Gassama. It stays 1-0 on the night for the hosts.
Absolutely begging to be put in, Liam. Somebody's got to be on the end of that. They really do. I don't know whether Raskin and McCann kind of get each other's way, but it was brilliant play from Gassama after the initial ball had come in. Lands at his feet, he goes to chop as if he's going to put it in with his right, back onto his left, thinks it up to the back post. It is just begging to be put away.
Jagiellonia have it wide in the left, long ball with the left foot, flicked forward there by Imas. And then Sterling manages to get his head onto the bouncing ball. It's Fernandez, lashes it out to the right side, but it goes out of play for a throw-in midway inside their own half for the visitors. With this tie poised finally at 2 apiece on aggregate right now. League Cup action to come across the weekend. The bottom 2 rungs of the SPFL are being played as well in the League Cup last 16 as Asgard shoots from distance. It's wide with the right foot in the turn. He's beyond 20 yards from goal there, and he's frustrated by the look of his reaction there that he's not got it on target, and it goes past the left-hand post. With 10 to the break in the second leg, it stays Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0.
It was really good play from Ryan Nadenia, actually nicking it off the defender, laying it into Shanklin. He played it slightly behind Asgard, who swiveled and then tried to reverse it into the bottom corner. Just dragged it ever so slightly. He must have only gone by the post by about a yard.
Kilmarnock United getting the League Cup last 16 underway tomorrow. Full coverage on Sports Sound. On Saturday, Dunfermline Ross County, Aberdeen Dundee, and Dundee United Celtic. On Sunday, Hibs Partick Thistle, Hearts Cali Thistle, Stennismere Motherwell. And then it all finishes here at Ibrox as Rangers host St Mirren. There's Wojtuchek picking up for Jagiellonia on this near side. And Derry trying to close down the pass back to the goalkeeper as he finds Kobayashi at the edge of his own penalty area. They had a little flurry, didn't they, before the Rangers penalty, the visitors, but they've Pandur, he dealt with the 2 shots that he's had to deal with. Jagiellonia looking a little bit stodgy right now, and there's a loose ball out of defence.
Last 10 minutes, yeah, Liam, I would say so. There was a spell when they were looking incredibly dangerous, but Rangers seem to have gotten to grips with how to deal with that.
Yeah, and they've put it straight out for a Rangers throw in level with the penalty spot here.
Yeah, it wasn't great from Abramovich.
The referee's got the timer on here. Gassama's going to have to do this pronto, and he eventually gets it into the box for Shanklin. Nice touch as he forces it back out wide left for Gassama. There's no route forward for him. Gassama crosses, takes a deflection. The goalkeeper, has he prevented the corner? No, he hasn't. It will be a Rangers corner as it's swung over the byline. Despite the best efforts of Abramovich, Rangers have another corner on 37 minutes. They lead 1-0 on the night.
Positive stuff again from Gassama on this left-hand side again.
I saw the impact, Stephen, he made in the European qualifiers at early season.
Doors,
yeah. Never really hit those heights again.
No, I think his confidence really suffered after that.
Asgard then, in-swinger, right-footed towards the back post. The header's wide, is it? The goalkeeper holds on. Looked like it was going wide at the back post. But Abramovich holds on as Fernandez attacking it, and he is a danger. in the opposition penalty box. At times he's been a danger in his own penalty box as well last season as he tries to get those mistakes out of his game. Still relatively young, of course, but another good chance, the back post there.
Yeah, the delivery was absolutely brilliant from Asgard. Whipped a lot of pace in the ball. I feel as though again it was one that should have been on a Rangers player on the end of it. I know Fernandes was close to it, but again, without the luxury of a replay, we can't really tell exactly what happened.
Meanwhile, Montoya finds Emas looking to slip it in behind for Conceição. He has done. An early ball chance, wide! Oh, it's a big opportunity for Jagiellonia. It was good counter-attacking play. We saw them pick Rangers off for their second goal last week. And down this right-hand side, Conceição had the better of Asgard. Low ball across. Prelets has put it wide though. Trying to put it back across the bows of the goalkeeper. And it stays Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0 on the night on 38.
Excellent move from Jagiellonia, it really was. The ball out wide, Asgard was sleeping. Gassama again was higher up the pitch. And they get in behind, flashed straight across the face. If anything, too much pace in the ball from Conceição, which made it difficult for Prelec to try and get to the ball. He kind of stretches and hooks it with his left foot and it goes 2 metres past the post. But another big opportunity. They have had opportunities and we thought that they would have opportunities and they will continue to get opportunities, so that's why it's so important Rangers try and get this second goal.
Jagiellonia have been pretty good on their travels in Europe. They've been pretty good overall, reaching the Conference League quarter-finals a couple of seasons ago. Beaten by Fiorentina in the knockout playoff round last season. They're unbeaten in their last 7 away games. That includes a victory in Florence in the second leg of that tie, though they would lose in extra time. And they've only lost 3 of the last 13 on the road in Europe. So this is a decent side.
But they're really brave in terms of the way that they want to play out when the goalkeeper's on the ball or when they're starting in possession deep in their own half. They're willing to take risks, they want to suck Rangers onto them, and then they leave 4 up the pitch, high up the pitch. That's exactly what they've just done there.
Yeah, and it's Emas with a header, but he can't find a teammate. Goes out for a Rangers throw-in, which Macania will take. All things considered, you feel Derek McInnes would have been quite happy if he'd offered him 1-0 up at half-time in the second leg. He would love, though, his team to score another before the turnaround, which is just over 5 minutes plus stoppages away. Dujon Sterling picks up wide right of the centre circle in his own half. Long ball, one in the air by Wojciech. His header doesn't have any real power on it, and it's Gassama chops away from another brilliant ball in. The goalkeeper this time throws himself at it, gets 2 fists to it. Yokota picks up level with the Jagiellonia penalty spot into the box. Little chip ball bounces off Shanklin's chest. I think he was as surprised as everyone else what Yokota was up to there. As Stephen said, it was a fabulous attempt there. Raskan on the right's not a great cross though. He's overhit it and some, and it sails behind the reverse side of the goal for a goal kick and will remain at 1-0 to the home team. Let's go to Fir Park for another update with Amy.
Still goalless, Liam, just as Emmanuel Longello yet again absolutely galloping down this near side. He's had a fantastic start to the season, and Motherwell really are just turning it up a little bit as we head into minute 40 of this first half. I have to say, if any goal is going to come from Motherwell, it is really going to come down this near left-hand side. Just again, though, as the ball's in the box and you can hear the fans around me, they're just getting a little bit apprehensive perhaps. They're feeling that their team are on top here, but they're not quite managing to dig out a clear-cut chance. A few have fell to each and every one that you would expect. Ibrahim Said, Tawanda Maswanisi, Andrigan, Charles Chuk yet again. Emmanuel Longello, it's a decent save from the goalkeeper. I will let you go. It's still 0-0 with 5 to go.
Yeah, 1-0 Rangers here, ticking towards the half-time interval. We'll go to North Macedonia in a moment for an update with Brian. Rangers, though, have a throw-in high up the pitch here, level with the edge of the D of the Jagiellonia box. Raskan bowls it to Shanklin, back to Raskan, chip forward there. Shanklin on the chest, as it nicked off him there, but what was it, by a high boot? The referee doesn't think so from Conceição. Shanklin's back onto it to Asgard. Gassama tries to squeeze it back to the Norway international. He can't do that, but it breaks back to Raskan. Now Fernandes rolls it left to right of the centre circle for Sterling, and then out to Yokota on the far side, up against Montoya. Goes back to Sterling, and then back to Dan Neil and to Fernandes. Brian McLaughlin.
Still 0-0 here in Macedonia. 10 minutes gone into the second half. A big chance for both teams though in the second half. Fabrice Tamba had a shot that was just wide after slack play by the Hibs defence, and then Owen Elding sets through Nathan Lowe, clear through in goal, and shot those straight at the goalkeeper. The defence were able to clear on the rebound. Still 0-0, but Hibs leading 2-1 in aggregate.
Rangers have it with Asgard on this near side. As he tries to get down the left flank, he's had it nicked off him by Romanchuk. And then there's a foul there on this near side, and they wanted to take it quickly, and a little leap of frustration from Conceição down below us because they weren't allowed to take that quick free kick.
I think the ball was still moving, Liam, when he actually ended up taking it.
So 2 minutes left of the opening 45. There was a VAR check ahead of the penalty that Rangers were awarded and subsequently converted, plus the injury to Vital. So maybe a good few minutes added on at the end of the first half here of the second leg.
The ref's been a wee bit pedantic here.
Yeah, he's not happy with the length of time. They're now taking to take the free kick, which Wojciech eventually does. To Vital, who rolls it with the right foot out to the left-hand side. It goes, and it's with Montoya. Carries it up towards the halfway line, and then goes back to Kobayashi. A little square ball for Vital. Long ball down the left it goes, and it's a good first touch there by Schmidt, but the second wasn't so good. It was good challenging by Sterling. Looked like he was going to get away from him. Shanked him with a little back heel back to Asgard, who then puts it out to Yokota on the far side. He's going to get a run here. And Montoya slips in infield. He was caught late. The ref's allowing the advantage. Raskan shoots, and again it's wildly over the bar when he'd 3 in blue and white ahead of him, and Gassama to the left on top of that. Major letdown for Rangers, and for Derek McInnes down below us. We go into minute 45. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0.
I can understand him hitting that one more than the first one because it opened up a lot for him. Travelling with the ball, is slightly closer in that time. He really should be doing an awful lot better with the effort. I mean, they went 10 metres over the bar, but as you rightly point out, he did have options. 3 ahead of the ball. I think once he'd taken his first touch and it opened up, he had only one thing in his mind, and that was to try and get the shot away.
Now foul by Prelets on Dan Neil down below us. Left of the centre circle, free kick to Rangers. We'll find out what the stoppage time's going to be momentarily. Rangers finished a disappointing 32nd in the league phase of this tournament last season as 2 minutes are added on. We're into the first of them. Could be a minute or two on top of that.
Yeah, I thought that's a bit shy.
And they're normally so reliable in the Europa League. Rangers certainly in the last 7 or 8 years, reaching the final in 2022. They haven't lost a Europa League qualifier since they were beaten by Progress Niederkorn in 2017, infamously in Luxembourg. Yokota picks up on the far side. This time he's beaten to by Montoya, who plays it off the Japanese and out for a throw-in to the visitors on the far side. I mentioned earlier Derek McInnes would have probably taken a 1-0 lead on the night if you'd offered him it before a ball was kicked.
Yeah, I really do think so, Liam, albeit the goals had to come from a VAR intervention. You know, he'd probably like to have scored from open play. There were a couple of kind of decent half chances. Gassama's caused a few problems down this left-hand side. I think he'd probably be asking for a wee bit more. As the game goes on, it'll get nervy if it stays like this.
There's a couple of negative balls from Rangers that McInnes is clearly not happy with. There's another one there, but they've got it in the forward area here by Gassama. Wojciech with the challenge, and out it goes for a throw-in off Gassama last. And we are well into the final minute of the 2.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see people playing that square pass unless it's for a reason to get out the other side. People taking safe options. As he said before the game, he wants his players to be brave on the ball.
Macania wins it back for Rangers, midway inside Jagiellonia territory, gets it into the midfield for Yokota, pushes it back to Dan Neil, forward to Shanklin, to Nadiri, he's in, Nadiri well wide, he's claiming it's taking a touch and the referee agrees. There was a real opportunity in the left foot to play it low, potentially into the bottom reverse corner. He's going to have to settle for the corner if there's time to take it.
Brilliant from Lawrence Shanklin, the wee reverse flick round the corner. Superb striker play. I felt it was why he took too long to hit it. As soon as you take that first touch out your feet, which maybe he didn't quite manage to do as well as he wanted, you've got to get the shot away.
Asgard then. into a third minute of stoppage time, and it's time to take this. Asgard into the box. Raskan wins the header, hits it back towards goal. The keeper comes, drops, and Jagiellonia clear. I think it was Montoya who fired it away, and the referee just about to blow for half-time here as the long ball comes all the way through to Pandur. The Rangers keeper plays it short, and the referee brings to a close the first half of the second leg here, with Rangers in front of the night and level in aggregate. Lawrence Shanklin converting a penalty after the VAR check. He slotted it home right down the middle, and you could see the relief in his face as he scored his first Rangers goal, not only being brought here with the expectation of being a top goal scorer for the club, but being handed the captaincy as well can weigh heavily. So a big moment for him and a big moment for Rangers, because it brought them level, having lost 2-1 in Poland last week. Jagiellonia have proven at times though that they are still a danger. A couple of chances before Shanklin scored that spot kick. Pandur's made a couple of saves. Imas hit the post as well. And the warnings are there that Rangers still have plenty of work to do at Ibrox tonight if they are to go through to play Iberia Tbilisi in the Europa League playoff next week, rather than Jablonec in the Conference League playoff. Half-time in the second leg of this Europa League third qualifying round tie is Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 0, and 2-2 on aggregate.
Rangers in the Europa League qualifiers.
What a strike that is!
Live on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. 4 Scottish clubs in European action this evening. So 1-0 to Rangers at half-time against Jagiellonia. Full second half commentary to come from Ibrox. Lawrence Shanklin with the penalty on 19 minutes. Let's then get to half-time at Fir Park in the third qualifying round of the Europa Conference League. Motherwell up against HJK Helsinki. There for us, Amy Canavan.
Finally poised from the first leg, Kenny. Finally poised from the first half of the second leg. Half-time here at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, HJK Helsinki 0. It's been a really entertaining affair, which Motherwell will certainly feel they ended the stronger after an end-to-end aggressive opening, really. It was a bit nervy, but Motherwell really have grown into this game as it's sort of gone on. A whole host of chances, actually, for Alfred Johansson's side. Sorry, it's actually really difficult to pick out the best of the lot. Ibrahim Said, Tawanda Maswanise and Regan Charles-Cook, as you would expect, all coming close. Jake Girdwood-Reich, the defender, he found the side netting with his head, while the mighty impressive Emmanuel Longello down this near left-hand side forced a really decent stop out of HJK goalkeeper Mateusz Markovic. He has been so impressive down this near-hand side. HJK really do not know how to contend with the fullback at all, and you really get the sense that if something is going to come for Motherwell, he is going to be at the heart of it. But really, it's just been a really all-round good performance from Motherwell, who will just be feeling, and I think you're getting that sense within the stadium here, they just need to get that one chance and get that in the back of the net, because they do know that they're on top here. They know HJK are there for the taking. Like I say, they started well, the Finnish side, but they have just sort of retreated, as they did last week in Helsinki, and they'll be hoping, Motherwell, that they sort of do the same in comparison with last week, when it was Motherwell were kind of slow starters for the entirety of the first half and then really brought it on after the break. The sort of warning was there last week, though, that when HJK do call upon Teemu Pukki, the former Celtic forward, that is when they are at their biggest threat, because he completely changed the game last week. So he went in a little bit earlier than anyone else here on the substitutes bench, so there could be an early introduction for him, the veteran forward, and that is who Motherwell will need to keep their eye on, while of course still trying to keep their eye on the back of their own net at the same time. So finally poised here, as I say, at half-time it is Motherwell 0, HJK Helsinki 0.
Good stuff, thanks to Amy. As soon as a goal comes in there, we'll be straight back to Amy Canavan, but Motherwell very much finally poised there against HJK Helsinki. Let's get to North Macedonia. This is the other commentary option on Sports Sound this evening. Scandizia up against Hibs deep into the second half. There for us, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, 65 minutes played here, Kenny, and it's still 0-0 on the night. Hibernian still leading by 2-1 on aggregate. A couple of really good opportunities for both teams, though, in the second period. Fabrice Tamba, who's been one of the highlights for Scandizia throughout the game so far. He had an effort in goal that was just wide of the target, and then a really terrific flick by Zengu, the main striker for the North Macedonians. He's back to goal, and he tried the ball was to his right hand side, and he tried the flick. Here's a chance, and it's cleared away this time by the Hibs defence, and safely now into the hands of Salinger. But he tried a flick to Nzegu, and the ball just over a few inches over the crossbar of Salinger. But Hibs as well, really trying to exploit the weaknesses at the back, because the North Macedonians are pouring more and more players forward. And Nathan Lowe had a great chance when set up by Elding. It was straight at the goalkeeper though, Ramani, and then Elding himself created good space for himself 12 yards out. And the ball was, it wasn't a clean effort in goal. He managed to, again, I think the ball probably took a bump in the penalty box. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in that, but it was a weak effort, and again, tamely eased away. But yeah, all going to plan for Hibernian so far. They're now asking Scandinavia, if you want to come and beat us, then you have to prove that you can penetrate this Hibernian defence. It's looking strong so far this evening. It's 0-0 on the night, 2-1 in aggregate to Hibernian.
Good to hear as things stand. Hibs are going to go through. Brian will keep us fully updated on that one. Let's then get to Hibs' city neighbours Hearts. They are in Europa Conference League third round qualifying tonight. They are at home to, you'd have to say, a really, really strong side. Benfica. Alan Preston is there for us. What's happening, Al?
It's 37 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0. Kenny, Hearts are doing all right. You know, Benfica, you would expect a lot of possession, a lot of chances as well. Duran's had a couple. Dedic has just hit the post just before you come here. Sudakov a header straight at the keeper. Hearts having a chance. McPake's Bittle and Guendouzi, and eventually with the shot was well saved. We're just having a round of applause for Brian Muir, who sadly passed away through illness. 37-year-old Hearts fan, so everyone's standing ovation. But so far at Tynecastle, it's still 0-0.
Alan, just to stay with you there, any of the Hearts players standing out in the first half there?
They're defending. They're all defending, as you can imagine. They've got a really good shape about them. They have Renault's done all right. McEntee playing out of position. Altena, funnily enough, has played well as well at the right back. So they're working their socks off. It's very difficult when you don't have a lot of the ball, Kenny, and that seems to be the case tonight. You know, the Benfica are a class act. You just look at the wealth that they've got on that pitch even tonight. It's a tough shift for the Hearts players, but if they can learn from this, and as I said before at the start of the game, get more minutes in the legs. That's what this game's all about tonight, because they're certainly not going to go through.
Good stuff. Thanks to Alan. Plenty more to come from him throughout the evening on Sports Sound. Our commentary match in the Europa League is at Ibrox. Rangers against Jagiellonia. Andy Halliday and Tom English alongside me in the studio. Andy, what have you made of that first half performance from Rangers?
Much more positive than the three games previous for me. I think a lot of that is down to Jedi Gassama and Yokota on the flanks. I think the both of them have been extremely positive. Every time they get the ball, they're trying to drive at the fullback, trying to make a difference. And you know, Derek McInnes said these pre-match that he wants Rangers to be braver on the ball, and I think they have been. I think they've been much more progressive in possession than they've been in the past. But there's no doubt whatsoever that the signs are still there that Jagiellonia can cut through them at times. I think Rangers have been much more aggressive in their press as well, but they're a composed side, and any time they beat the press and play through the middle thirds, they look dangerous, and there's been warning signs there. I think they've had 2-3 big opportunities, but again, I talked about Rangers trying to raise their performance levels. I think they have done that, but there's no doubt that there is warning signs.
I mean, it's very early days, Tom, but you just sometimes wonder about moments in a game, how they could actually impact a season. I think of that fantastic chance that Jagiellonia had when the ball hit the inside of the post. A couple of minutes later, Rangers are ahead. You just wonder if a moment like that could just change the course of events for Rangers.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, who knows? We'll see at the end of the game whether that is the decisive moment or one of the decisive moments. Obviously, Rangers need another goal. They need to keep Jagiellonia out, and as Andy says, they've had two really big chances, like huge chances. One off the inside of the post from Imaz, and the other one from Prelic, just about 7 or 8 minutes before the end of the half. But Rangers have the lead. They have a bit of confidence. I'm sure the stadium is with them. They've had a couple of more chances. A bit of a chance from Makanya, or a shot from Makanya early on. One from Shankland early on. Yokota has been the standout for me. He's been brave. He's been lots of energy. He's beaten players with his pace, with his trickery. and he's energising. He's given a bit of energy to this Ranger. He wins the penalty.
What did you make of that penalty award?
Yeah, I think it was probably a penalty. Like Kobayashi has tried to stoop to head it.
Here we're seeing it now.
He stooped to head it. He's missed the header. It's come off his arm, which is probably too far out of his body. It's not a stonewall penalty, but I think it's probably a penalty. I don't know what Andy thinks.
Delighted that it gets to one of our sides in Europe. I'd be absolutely fuming if it was against one of our sides in Europe. It's got to be said. Listen, there's no doubt it's a handball. And Kobayashi, he stoops low to try and header the ball, so he certainly moves his arm towards it. I just don't know how far away from his body it actually is. But listen, like he says, it's certainly one of the ones you would take, but if it's against you, you're fuming.
Stephen, what do you like about this Rangers team tonight? Do you like the shape of the side?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's enabled Rangers to look more of a threat, certainly going forward. I do think, though, at times they've looked vulnerable. There was a spell, can't remember, about 10 minutes into the game where Jagiellonia were getting down either side a bit too easily and creating opportunities. Obviously, they won off the post. And then I think Rangers weathered that kind of storm, and they have looked dangerous. But I mean, the other thing for me is like the goal comes from a penalty, which you're saying, there's debate about. They need to start scoring more from open play. And you think about real clear-cut opportunities in that first half. There's been some decent deliveries into the box that I feel as though people should have got on the end of, especially from Gassama on this left-hand side. You had the Lawrence Shankland one in the 6-yard box early on, but can't really think. Can you think of anything, having watched the game on the telly, where they've really opened the opposition up and you're looking at the goalkeeper having to make save after save? That'd be my only concern. And Jagiellonia have been incredibly brave on the ball in their build. It's like just trying to suck Rangers on top of them, and it's a dangerous game to play away from home. But on occasion, as Andy points out, it has worked, and they've broken that initial press, and what they've done is they've left virtually 4 up the field, which has made Rangers have to keep 4 back as well. And if they do break it, it becomes a kind of 4v4 situation, and that's something that Rangers really need to keep an eye on. As Rangers, it's exactly the same for me as the start of the first half. They've got to come out with the same energy and the same impetus and try and get this next goal, because if they get this next goal, the crowd again, you heard the lift inside the stadium. It was so obvious in here when the goal went in. If they can get another goal in the early part of this second half, I think they'll go on to win the tie.
Tom, well, we did the game at Tannadice together, and we spoke throughout the 90 minutes of how evident was the lack of pace and the lack of width that Rangers utilised on the night. How much of a difference do you think Gassama and especially Jokic on that right hand side have made?
Yeah, I think both of them have had excellent first halves, and I think it just gives that. Quite often you see wide players drifting in the pitch, and I mentioned it in commentary. Gassama did it a couple of times when he's one-on-one with a fullback. Take him on, go and take him on, instead of drifting into bodies. And for years we've watched Rangers teams come in the pitch with wide players. It is refreshing to see both of them being high. Derek's not really asking Gassama to do the job of coming back in and being the deeper one, because he knows when they get the ball back, he'll be free to then spring a counter and go forward. I think it has looked an awful lot more comfortable for the players in this shape. So maybe it's something looking forward in time that Derek will look at and think, is this actually better for the team moving forward? Because there's no doubt this has been their best first half and probably their best half performance of the season so far. So there's plenty to think about for Derek.
Tomo, is Ryan Nadiri working?
The jury's out. I'm just looking down below me. Ross McCrory's coming on. I can't see who for. Give me 2 seconds. Can't work it out. Anyway, he's coming on. Not for me. I feel as though with his presence and the height that he is, he doesn't. He's not aggressive enough. It's difficult because he's playing up with Lawrence, and neither of them are going to try and spin in behind or stretch the game. So it's 2 reasonably similar type of players, but for a target man, for somebody that's an out-and-out kind of 9, if you like, I don't know. When balls come in the box, is he in the right areas? Is he really giving defenders a real troublesome time. I'm not entirely convinced, but you know, it's very early in the season. Maybe he'll find a wee bit of form with a run of games, get a goal under his belt, and his confidence will grow. But I don't know.
He definitely looks like a guy who's desperate for a goal. I mean, all strikers are, but him in particular.
It'll be interesting to see off the back if Ross McCrory does come on at half-time. We've spoke about Rangers have made 5 half-time substitutions over the 3 games, and it's been to spark a reaction. We're just after saying it's been a really positive first half, so if there's an injury again,
I think it's
in
Dan
that
Neil.
defensive area.
No, it's not. I'm talking porkies. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish from me.
Right, hold fire on that, Tom. We'll hold fire on that for now, because there has been a goal at Fir Park. Amy Canavan.
There has been a goal, and it's an absolute belter, and I think you can tell by the noise around me. It's for Motherwell. It's Ibrahim Saeed. It's fantastic work. It's down that left-hand side, as that was the threat in the first half, and they've just absolutely burst out the traps, as they did in Helsinki last week, actually, from the second half, coming down and just inside the box. He's absolutely tore it right into the far side of the net and given the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. That had really lifted Fir Park. It is Motherwell 1, HJK Helsinki 0.
Fantastic, a really fantastic celebration from Andy Halliday. He wrote the spot very well. Go on the well, says Andy Halliday. They are very much on course. Hibs are in North Macedonia, 76 minutes played, goalless there, so they are on track to go through. Let's hope Rangers can join them as well. Let's get back to the commentary match. Rangers against Jagiellonia with Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
It's Taylor Asgard who's come off to be replaced by Ross McCrory. The Jagiellonia players go into a huddle, as a certain other team from the city like to do pre-match. The Jagiellonia players break away from that now. They're going to kick off, shooting from right to left in their red and yellow with black flashes, red shorts, yellow socks. Rangers with the blue shirts, the white pinstripes, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. It's half-time at Tynecastle, 0-0 on the night, but it remains 6-1 Benfica. On aggregates, the Greek referee gets the game back underway. What awaits us here at Ibrox in this second half?
Well, it's a shape change right away. Liam McCrory's come on and they've gone to a back 4, which surprises me because we've just spent a wee bit of time at half-time there talking about the positive aspects of the 5 and how we felt it was working, or the 3 at the back. So anyway, they've gone to a 4-4-2.
Dan Neil's been taken right out of the game. The free kick's been given and the yellow card's been produced. Here's Romanchuk, the Jagiellonia skipper, as they shoot from left to right towards the Copeland Road end. Do Rangers in this second half, and they've got a free kick and an opportunity to potentially put the Jagiellonia defence under pressure here. And the ref's just sorting things out. There are fingers being pointed. Dan Neil is doing so. He was on the receiving end of that robust challenge. As it stands, this tie's going to extra time. Long way to go, right at the start of the second half of the second leg here. And there's Neil, who stands over it, having arrived from Sunderland in the summer. And joined in a free transfer as well, 8 years at his home club. Neil stands over the free kick. The ref is just about ready. Big line of players along the Jagiellonia 18. As Neil takes, swings it in, looks too close to keep, way too close, and an easy, comfortable take from Abramovich. His ball out wasn't great. The referee has tried to take pity on him there. Raskan with the close attentions.
I think it cannoned off his own player's back. I don't know what the ref's given you. Anyway.
It's been taken there. Abramovich out to the right by Tuchek. Long ball forward, which Macanya's onto. Picked up here by Dan Neil, slips it out to the left for Gassama, right on the touchline. It's away from one, not the second, but the loose ball breaks McCrory's way in. Now it's with Neil again, and back into his own half. Macanya finds Fernandez. It's a poor ball out wide right though, looking for Yokota. It's been well read by Montoya, who's on it for the visitors. To Romanchuk in the centre circle. Out to the right side, good challenge by McCrory to win it back for Rangers and Conceição. It will be Gassama, left to the centre circle, out to Ross McCrory wide in the left. Moves infield away from his man, gets the early ball in, it was poor, it's away by Kobayashi. Picked up wide in the right there by Conceição, rolls it back to Wojtuchek, he sweeps it into the midfield here for Klinge, and then out to Schmidt on this near side. Short ball infield And the Dane Clinge again, and then out to Schmidt wide on the left. Under pressure there from Sterling. Schmidt moves it back the way. It's with Montoya. And then onto the halfway line for Kobayashi. We play 3 second-half minutes. 1-0 to Rangers, 2-2 in aggregate. Remember, Motherwell ahead on the night and in the tie through that Saeed goal. 1-0 in the night, 2-1 in aggregate. Hibs still leading 2-1 in aggregate, 0-0 in North Macedonia. Jagiellonia with a little ball forward. Fernandes almost took his eye off it as he managed to pick it up. Prelets for company. He's managed to get away with it. Back to Pandur. Long ball, long clearance up towards Naderi, who was clearly fouled by Romanchuk there. Was he not? Was the referee?
No, looked a foul to me, Liam. I have to say, the referee felt as though each were giving as much as each other there, but for me that was a foul.
He just booked Romanchuk as well. This comes back to Kobayashi. See down there, Adrian Semionets, the Jagiellonia coach, led them to their first ever title season before last. Led them to the cup as well. As they come forward here, it's cut out by Fernandes at the edge of his own box. It's going to break out to Schmidt on this near side. The challenge from Sterling, and out for a throw-in. Jagiellonia take quickly through Schmidt, back to Montoya. Looks for space to cross, does so. It's very deep, sails across the goal frame. And away over to the other side touchline near the corner flag where McCrory gets the challenge in on Conceição, and out for a Jagiellonia throw-in over on the far side. Back into their own half it goes, and it's Vital turns it back to his goalkeeper. A short ball to Kobayashi. So it looks like Ross McCrory's got out to left back basically for the second half. Not sure I've seen him there too often.
Me neither, Liam. It'll be interesting to see after the game Derek's thought process, unless Asgard was injured, on why he's reverted back to the 4-4-2.
Underlines the problems he's got in defence right now. So foul by Raskan. He's the referee. He's midway inside the Jagiellonia half. It'll be a free kick to the Poles. Yeah, Godfrey obviously out injured. Romans now out injured. John Suter, persona non grata here, seemingly. Wasn't even in the European squad. So that long ball for Imas for Jagiellonia, as well read by Macania, who lumps it clear, but only as far as Romanchuk, who hoists it forward towards the edge of the Rangers box where Macania heads away. Jokita's touch isn't great, and it's with Montoya, goes back to Kobayashi and all the way back to his goalkeeper. If it is an injury, it's just more frustration for Derek McInnes, because it seemed, apart from a couple of nervy moments, it seemed like the system was working.
Yeah, for me, Liam, I thought it was. We talked about the width that we're getting, the joy that Gassama and Yokota were getting. I know they're still in wide areas just now, but different formation. It's easy to get them on the ball.
Manchuk's header into the centre circle for Imas for Jagiellonia. Back to Clinge, long ball out to Schmidt on this left-hand side. He'll have a little run at Sterling here. He's got an overlap from Montoya, uses him, crosses, and the effort's blocked by Fernandes. The free kick's actually been given, despite the clear intentions there of the striker to try and get a shot in on goal. He's caught Fernandes at the same time, Prelets. Slovenian, and that will be a free kick to Rangers, as good as a goal kick on their 6-yard line. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0. It remains with 51.5 minutes.
Really good play down the left-hand side from Jagiellonia. Montoya slipping in. Schmitz, then the overlap flashed across the face of goal. I think Prelets can consider himself a wee bit unlucky there. He's got to go for the ball. The Rangers get the free kick.
Rangers have the ball here, slipped out to the left for Naderi. He's inside the box. Not a great touch though, and it's a comfortable take there for Abramovich. Ryan Naderi signed in January. Yet to see the best of him in a Rangers jersey. And it's with Schmidt on this near side, up against Sterling. Rolls it infield to Prelets, looking to get it back onto it. Sterling read it well, and goes back to his goalkeeper. Long ball forward there, which bounces into the midfield, and it's Clinge. Eventually it's out of play for a Rangers throw-in on this near side, level with the edge of the centre circle. It's a bit further back than that actually. By the time Sterling takes this, bowls it down the line looking for Naderi. The header away though by Montoya. Schmidt back to Montoya, midway inside his own half. And then to Kobayashi, who plays it to Vital. Walking pace, surveys what's ahead of him. 53 minutes on the clock. Rangers ahead on the night, level in aggregate. Loose ball in the midfield picked up by Raskant. A heavy pass forward though by Neil, and it comes all the way through to the goalkeeper. So a little bit stop-start here at the start of the second half. Both teams trying to feel their way back into the game, it feels.
Yeah, I don't feel as though Rangers are quite as fluid as they were in that first half, Liam. Again, Jagiellonia leaving 4 pretty much up front, but they're now pretty much man for man with the Rangers back 4. An injury here over on the far side. I can't see who it is. Jagiellonia player down.
Yeah, it might be Conceição actually, just going by the balance and probability there when I have a look around.
Right,
Getting himself back to his feet. Motherwell then leading HJK Helsinki at Fir Park 1-0 in the night and 2-1 in aggregate. Hibs still 2-1 up against Gandia overall. That game is half an hour ahead of this one, so they'll be hitting the closing stages. Hibs getting close to a meeting with Gothenburg or Ghent in the Conference League playoff round. The second half at Tynecastle will be getting underway soon. 0-0 in the second leg, but Hearts all obviously 6-1 down on aggregate. Here, Rangers are on the ball with Fernandes, taking it out of his own penalty area and launching it forward with the right foot out to the left side for Gassama. Lovely little touch behind him to McCrory. Early ball outside of the boot. Shankland on the edge of the penalty area, just got away from him though. And Romanchik can clear up, find Clingy, who's going to hit the high road here. Long ball forward, looking for Schmidt, gets the touch onto it, it's carried him wide though. Doesn't stop him getting the cross in first time. And Pandur holds on, under no pressure really, as he plays it forward into the midfield for Neil. It was to Yokota, who's berated by the Rangers fans for going back the way.
Yeah, it's going to start to get edgy in here, but again, that was a wonderful switch of play by Jagiellonia out to Schmidt in this left-hand side. He takes a great touch, he flashed the cross in, and he was wanting Prelitz to get across the front post. He kind of peeled middle back.
Fernandes heads a long ball away from the edge of his box. Naderi, good touch to Shankland, out wide, right, low ball to Yokota, who goes down.
Never a foul.
Well, it's been given. Foul by Montoya, says the referee. It's right in front of Derek McInnes as well, and he's now arguing with one of the coaching staff in the opposite technical area.
It's not a foul for me, that. I think he just showed too much of the ball to Montoya. He nicked it off him. He goes to the ground. But yeah, Rangers in the second half, they don't look as comfortable as they did in the first. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's not the first time Asgard's been hooked at half-time in a match. We need to see what the manager says afterwards. What kind of mood's he going to be in? Fernandes with the long ball, looking for Yokota at the byline. He's been unable to get the cross in or keep it in play. Sails behind for the goal kick. Just looked as though he was going to be able to swing the right boot at that and get it into the middle.
Skipped off the turf, didn't it? Immaculate pitch here at Ibrox. But yeah, as soon as it bounced, it skidded. It was always going away from him.
Jagiellonia in possession, just trotting it out of defence. Kobayashi turns it to his right for Vital. And he goes back to his keeper. Shankland penalties. Rangers 1-0 up on the night. There's been another goal at Fir Park. Amy Canavan.
Oh my goodness, Liam, honestly, Ibrahim Zai's first goal was a magnificent solo goal. I think his second has just topped it. It is absolutely outrageous. A reminder, he missed the first leg last week due to visa issues. My goodness, he is making sure HJK Helsinki leave here knowing exactly who he is. It's just wonderful from Motherwell. They have completely picked up where they left off in that first half. Just absolutely magnificent on the edge of the box. A little turnover with the ball, roll over with the foot, and then he slips it by Matic Markovic, who will absolutely be delighted to see the back of him at the end of this evening. Ibrahim Zaid is on a hat-trick, and Motherwell are surely set to face Freiburg in the Conference League playoffs. Motherwell 2, HJK Helsinki 0.
Fantastic there for Motherwell, Ibrahim Saeed. He didn't get many headlines last season, but he was a constant threat when he was on the park, and he's the headline man for the Steelmen, who are heading through the playoffs in the Conference League. And what a pity it's Freiburg they're going to have to try and get past.
Yeah, but never say never, Liam, but it's a tough old tie.
Here come Jagiellonia, Schmidt, a lovely long ball to find him, left-hand side of the box, taking on Sterling, who reacts brilliantly, and the flag's actually gone up, so free kick to Rangers rather than what looked as though it was going to be a corner for a split second there. 58 on the clock at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 0, and 2-2 on aggregate.
Really talented player, Schmidt. It really is. Again, it's that switch of play in behind Dijon Sterling. His first touch is incredible. Then he just tries to go down the outside of Sterling. He's maybe not quite got the pace to get there, but looked like he'd gone a wee fraction too early anyway.
Clinch flicking on for Jagiellonia. It's picked up here by the visitors through Emas. Out to Schmidt wide in the left. Looked a bit better in the last few minutes. Jagiellonia. Clinch finds Romanchuk to Emas. Back the way it goes. Wojtuchek. Romanchuk. The edge of the Rangers box this. Rangers have plenty back. So he'll lay back to Romanchuk. Controls with the undersole of his left boot. Out to the left, Montoya. Now it's with Schmidt. Level with the Rangers 6-yard line. Left-hand side of the box. Into the area to Clinch. Back to Montoya. His cross comes in and it's headed away by Macania. And out it goes for a Jagiellonia throw-in on the near side. The Poles looking the more likely right now.
They look confident, Liam, the way they're knocking it about. One-touch passing, triangles. Definitely probably the better team in this second half so far. What we're in nearly 60 played.
Yeah, just about the hour mark here. Dusk beginning to fall on Glasgow as Jagiellonia pick up with Montoya receiving it from Kobayashi on this near side. Montoya has it, faced by Yokota, rolls it back into his own half for Kobayashi. Plays it to his right for Vital. Long ball with the right foot coming up here. Should come all the way through to Pandur, and does. We are bang on the hour mark at Ibrox. Second leg of this Europa League third qualifying round tie. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 0, and 2-2 overall. Fernandez gets it from Raskan. Little short ball to his right for Sterling. It's a run ahead of him from Naderi. It's played forward shortly or to Shanklin instead, who goes back to Fernandez. Then to Pandur at the edge of the penalty area. Out to the left there for Macania, who was in the South Africa squad at the World Cup finals in the summer. Could be an important signing for Rangers this season. He's on the bench for all of their games in the tournament though. As Fernandez picks up right at the centre circle in his own half to the right for Sterling. Rangers not really a goal threat in this second half. They try and change that with Daisuke Yokota, who goes back to Fernandez, sweeps it right to left of the centre circle for Macania, and out to McCrory over on the left. Down the line for Gassama, infield to Raskan, little delicate chip ball left side of the box. Shanklin can't get it under control, and it's comfortably away by the visitors over on the right through Vital, and then up the line for Conceição, though it's won back well by Shanklin, who gave it away in the first place. Rangers have at the edge of the box, it's Gassama, and it's wild, and it's a goal kick as he slashes at it. It goes high and wide to the right hand side of the goal. And it stays 1-0 to the hosts and 2-2 in aggregate.
Yeah, it's the third time tonight at Rangers taking that option to hit the shot from a good 25-30 yards out. Gassama had Sterling over on the right-hand side here, who was in space, but his head was down, he was focused on the ball, but again the shot goes high into the Copeland Road stand.
Varga Dragojevic is going to come on, as is Cammy Devlin at the next break in play. Good news for Hibernian Football Club, Brian McLaughlin.
Hibernian are through to the playoff round of the UEFA Conference League, Liam, after 0-0 here in the heat at North Macedonia against Gandija. 0-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. That late goal from Warren Ahora last week, enough to take Hibernians through. It was a gallant performance. Some of the players on their knees at the full-time whistle, such as the heat and the intensity of the game. But they're safely through now, and it looks as if they're off to Belgium to play Ghent next Thursday. Finished here in North Macedonia. Gandija 0, Hibernian 0, 2-1 to Hibs on aggregate.
And a foul on Gassama, left-hand side of the Jagiellonia box, and a chance for Rangers with a free kick about level with the penalty spot. Fantastic news for David Gray and for Hibs and their supporters. They are through to the Conference League playoff round for the second successive season, having narrowly lost out to Legia Warsaw last year. They have a tie, as Brian says, in all likelihood against the Belgians. Ghent, again, it's a tough tie, but you've got to be in it to win it, Stephen.
It's good to see them both through, Liam. It really is. Absolutely. Really positive for Scottish football. And you never know, as I said earlier, but this is a right good opportunity for Rangers here. 12 yards out, over on the left-hand side of the pitch. It'll be an in-swinger. They've got plenty of bodies in there. It's all about the quality of the ball.
Well, the coefficient is in the mud right now. Every little helps. This season's champions will have to start the Champions League qualifiers in the second qualifying round, as Dan Neil takes the free kick towards goal. The goalkeeper does enough to flick it away. He's in a good area as well, and he comes out to this near side, and Jagiellonia are in possession. And Rangers waiting to make those changes as Clange gets it up the line on this near side. Conceição leaves it for Clange, back infield to Conceição. Jagiellonia look good in the counter. We saw that in Poland last week, and it's been switched out to the right. The cross ball comes in, comes off the head of Sterling, breaks to Clinge. Look, there might have been an offside there. Clinge gets the cross in, the header's into the net. Prelec scores. Might there have been an offside in the build-up, but right now the Jagiellonia striker has his arms outstretched in front of the visiting supporters to plunge the vast majority of Ibrox into despair. Are Rangers staring at the Conference League this season? It is Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 1, and 3-2 the Poles lead in aggregate for now.
You've got to say it's brilliant play from Jagiellonia Białystok, again on the counter-attack. Rangers were attacking, too many men forward, they burst forward themselves. Jagiellonia, the ball gets switched out to the right, a deep cross comes in, misses everybody, it goes to the back post, and the quality of the ball in for the ball into Prelec was unbelievable at the back post. You've got to ask though, why was he unmarked with a free header, probably about 4 or 5 yards out into the back of the net. A really good goal from the Poles' point of view, a really soft goal from Rangers' point of view.
Yeah, it doesn't look as though the offside's going to come to spare Rangers here. Raskan off, Devlin on, and Dragijevic is going to come on for Dan Neil. Now Derek McInnes was going to make those changes before that goal went in. Now Rangers need to find one goal just to force extra time.
But I've not been like it's incredible really when you think about it. In the first half they had control of the game, they were creating opportunities, looking dangerous. In the second half with the formation change, they've not looked the same team. There's absolutely no two ways about that.
Is there personnel there to have continued to play that way though? I mean, could Dragijevic have come on and played where Asgard's playing? Perhaps plays in a deeper role, obviously, but I mean, he is threadbare, to be fair, relatively speaking.
Lyle Cameron's on the bench, he could have played it.
I just don't know if Lyle Cameron's got a future here.
Yeah, but you've got to use what's there at times.
Sterling for Rangers on this near side. They've still got 24 minutes plus stoppage time to try and remedy this. But their lead on the night has been wiped out by Prelec. Nodded home at the back post.
We did say before the game, Andy and myself, we both felt as though Jagiellonia would score and Rangers had to outscore them, so it's all on Rangers now.
Remember, Hibs through, Motherwell leading 3-1 in aggregate against Rijeka HJK Helsinki. Hibs through, knocking out Skendia. We were hearing that just before Jagiellonia equalised. Still goalless Hearts Benfica in the second leg of that one. Hearts heading for the Conference League playoff where they will face Rapid Vienna. Jokota picks up for Rangers on the near side. They've still got plenty of time to sort it out. Still a quarter of the second leg. Macania rolls it out to McCrory on the left. Down the line it goes for Gassama. Out off the defender. And Rangers have a throw-in level with the edge of the centre circle in Jagiellonia territory, which is pulled back across the halfway line for Macania, who squares it to Fernandez, who moves it out to Jokota on this near side. There's no doubt that stunned Ibrox, that goal.
Absolutely, and the atmosphere's going to get very nervy as we approach the last 20 minutes. Rangers' problem is that they've got to score now, and the more bodies they commit forward, as we've seen, they are very susceptible to that counter-attack, which, as we said again before the game, this team are very, very good at.
It's played through to Shankland. Jokata makes his run to his right. He's on it. He's on the left foot, but it's just taken away from him, the last there. Jagiellonia clear. Fernandez is under pressure from Trelets, who fouls him. Free kick Rangers on this near side. The Poles 3-2 up on aggregate. And they will be heading to Georgia. As it stands, the deadlock's been broken in the second leg at Tynecastle. Alan Preston.
Incredibly, it's Hearts who's taking the lead. Brilliant play on the left-hand side by McPakey. Whips it across, and there's Miller, the other winger, coming in, putting it at the back of the net. Got to say, Hearts have been really good at the start of this second half. Couple of chances for Gwendouz, but that's them taking the lead. Miller, 1-0 to Hearts.
Comebacks on. Still trailing by 4 are Hearts, but to make the Hearts fans feel a bit better, even if they can win on the night, and give them such a confidence boost, having the monkey off the back with Wouter Vranken's first victory in charge of the club as Derek McInnes' replacement against Dundee United on Sunday. So Hearts 1, Benfica 0, but 6-2 to the Portuguese on aggregate. Hibs through, beating Skendia. Motherwell heading through as it stands. It is Jagiellonia heading through in the Europa League as it stands here at Ibrox. Back to where we started at the beginning of the night for these two. 1 goal the difference. As Dragojevic hauled to the deck by Clinge, and he's the latest to be yellow carded.
Yeah, the referee had no option there. It was a good wee spin from Dragojevic. Clinge far too tight, pulls the jersey. The referee's only 10 feet away.
Dragojevic is going to take the free kick himself, but they're going to have to, despite the situation they find themselves in again here, try and keep cool heads, Rangers.
Yeah, it's difficult to do, and I think the biggest worry for them is they have not looked a goal threat in this second half at all.
Fernandez for Rangers in the centre circle, pushes it to Dragojevic to his right. Long ball forward, up to the edge of the box is cleared, and that's a dreadful ball out of defence. Naderi back to Shankland at the edge of the area, but it breaks down. He wanted too long, and the Rangers fans on top of him, but Naderi wins it back. He's in the box, scuffed effort at goal, which the keeper holds on to comfortably down low to his right, and that's the first real sign of the Cyril Dessers treatment for Lawrence Shankland there.
Yeah, I think he felt as though he should have got his shot away. It kind of falls from the edge of the box, but there was a player closing him down really, really quickly, so he had to kind of try a chop.
And they've given it away again. It's incredible. In the box, Rangers, but Dragojevic puts it straight behind for the goal kick.
Well,
and now it's his turn. It's his turn. But that is 2 gifts they've been given there, and they've botched both of them. And by the way, that Hearts goal has been ruled out after a VAR check, so it stays 6-1 on aggregate to Benfica.
Yeah, you can. I told you it would happen, and it's, you know, it is going to get worse as longer the Rangers stay behind in this game, and every wee error is going to be scrutinised and criticised, and that's when the players have got to stand up to it.
You know what I mean when I say Dessers treatment, though, don't you?
Oh, 100% I do, yeah.
I've never heard a Rangers striker score so many goals, but get so much abuse from the stands. 29 goals in his final full season at the club here. He was never a fan's favourite here. Quite remarkably, I was looking back at this the other day, there's not a single Rangers striker since Chris Boyd to have scored more than, well, scored 20 or more goals in a league season.
That is incredible. Oh my word.
Lanzier comes a long way from home. Fernandez has it, facing his keeper, and Jagiellonia with Trelets right behind him, just about took it back off him.
It's not going to make the fans feel any easier, that, is it?
There's a long one for Naderi to chase. It's in behind Kobayashi, who brings him down. Now is he going in on goal? What colour of card's this going to be? In fact, it's not going to be any card. It's going Jagiellonia's way.
That's remarkable.
Well, if this is a red, then the VAR can clearly look at it. But as it stands, it's a Białystok free kick. When Naderi got goal side of Kobayashi, who clearly brought him down.
It really did look like Kobayashi was the one that made the foul, unless from here, because it's the opposite side of the pitch, we can't see if Naderi's got an armful of his
another
jersey.
Yellow card, Dragojevic this time. So the ref's coming over here.
Could be in a yellow here.
Is it for one of the coaches? I'm going to look to see what the Greek official's going to do here. He's not coming over to have a look at the monitor. He's gone to his pocket for another card, and it's a yellow for Derek McInnes. And one of the Jagiellonia coaches has also been cautioned, and Derek McInnes is asking for a VAR review here. He's asking for VAR because he thinks Kobayashi should have been potentially sent off there. But the VAR's not helping Rangers on this occasion. They're happy with the decision.
He must have had a hold of his shirt, Liam. It's the only thing I can think of.
That's how it probably started.
Everybody in the stadium felt as though it was a foul by Kobayashi on the Derek, but not to be.
73 minutes under the lights here at Ibrox now. Rangers 1, Białystok 1, 3-2 Jagiellonia on aggregate as Montoya comes charging down the left. One way then the other against Shanklin. He loses out, and then Schmidt loses out as well, but Rangers battling, trying to win it back. Dragicevic has passed it back into his own box. Fortunately for him, Devlin was there, and he plays it forward to Yokota, whose touch gives it to Dragicevic, then he manages to get it back to Sterling. It's such hard work for the Rangers players out there right now. Devlin eventually is rugby tackle to the ground, and surely another yellow card coming here. If it's not for the challenge, then for the dissent from Schmidt, and the referee decides against that course of action.
You can just think the referee can feel it's kind of boiling over a wee bit inside the stadium.
Well, Derek McInnes is throwing another couple of subs at this. Naderi will come off to be replaced by Bojan Miovski. Finlay Curtis is going to come on for Gassama. And it's the last throw of the dice for McInnes with 16 minutes to play of the second leg, plus the stoppages. 3-2 down in aggregate.
Well, Curtis made their impact over in Poland when he came onto the pitch. Rangers will be hoping he can, Rangers will be hoping he can have the same impact here in the last 15-20 minutes.
And Devlin's fouled by Prelic. They're putting a lot of these balls out of defence, and they're putting themselves under all kinds of pressure themselves. And Jagiellonia have been guilty of it as well. And I know that's the modern way, but if you're not good enough to play out that way, surely you'd rather hit a different kind of ball, even if it's a longer one, than potentially give a goal away, no?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Liam. I don't think the Rangers fans want to see them with 20 minutes to go keeping the ball in their own 6-7 yards out themselves. They want the ball forward here. Needs must at this point.
The heat is on for Derek McInnes. Remember, Motherwell heading through, 3-1 up in aggregate, 2-0 on the night thanks to Ibrahim Said's double against HJK Helsinki. Following last week's 1-1 draw in Finland. It'll be one of those special European nights at Fir Park, looking that way. They got underway the same time as we did here at Ibrox. But it remains 1-1 on the night, 3-2 Jagiellonia on aggregate. Hibs through to the Conference League playoff round, where they'll likely face Ghent. They're beating Skendia overall, a 0-0 draw in the baking Skopje heat tonight. Hearts goalless with Benfica, though heading out 6-1 as it stands in aggregate. Jagiellonia are in possession here, looking to put this tie to bed. Clinge in behind here. Schmidt driving down the left side. An early ball comes off Sterling, and Pandur prevents the corner just. 76 on the clock. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 1.
That could have been an awful lot worse for Rangers there. Schmidt's cross was poor. It was well defended by Sterling, but again, Prelic was right in the middle of the goal. If he managed to just get a wee bit more curl round the defender's foot, really big opportunity.
Crowd of 41,636 inside Ibrox tonight for this. In fairness, off up high in the Broomlow, there's plenty available seats for segregation purposes. As Montoya tries to do some defending, he's under pressure from Miovski down by the corner flag. He's trying to hold them off. Miovski comes off last and out for a Jagiellonia throw in deep inside their own half. They need to believe that they're going to get at least one opportunity. You said last week, when we were going into the last 5 minutes, you felt Rangers would get at least one opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you have the same feeling tonight?
Well, it's normally is the case, Liam. But I mean, on the evidence of the second half showed, thinking about opportunities and what Rangers have created, it's been few and far between.
There's another chance to get Schmidt in behind. Sterling's defended pretty well tonight overall. As he gets there first, rolls it back to Pandur, who clears with the right foot up towards the halfway line. Comes off the head there of Romanchuk, I think, and Kobayashi it breaks to. He plays it to Vital. They're going to make a change shortly, the visitors. For first change for them on the night, because Jokita is looking ever tired here.
He does.
Gives it away on the near side. It'll be Montoya flicking it in for Romanchik. First time, long ball forward, comes all the way through to Pandur. Looks like Eric Kozlovsky is going to come on for Jagiellonia as they try and see this out at the very least. And as it stands, they're going to Georgia in the next round, albeit they'd be at home first. Rangers, as it stands, will be playing the Czech side Jagiellonia, who played Celtic early in the Ange Postecoglou era, also in Europa League qualifying. As the visitors get a free kick level with the edge of the centre circle on the far side, and they are going to take off Anders Klinge, the Dane, will replace him, as I said, with Kozlovsky, and they're able to freshen things up. Derek McInnes has been forced to go to his bench and use all his subs before now, and Kozlovsky, who's an academy graduate at Jagiellonia, comes on. It's his 7th appearance for the first team. And as the youngster comes on, well, we're knocking on the final 10 minutes of the 90 here at Ibrox, and Rangers 3-2 down in aggregate. A front two now of Miovski and Shankland, who once upon a time were going toe-to-toe at the top of the scoring charts with Aberdeen and Hearts respectively. Now they are who Derek McInnes is hoping can at the very least salvage extra time here. Fernandez boots it clear into the Jagiellonia half, where it's knocked out of play by Vita for a Rangers throw-in, which Dragijevic takes quickly to Miovski. Dragijevic in field, Jokita back to Devlin, left-footed ball out to McCrory. It's got space to operate in here as he comes forward, support as well from Curtis. Level the edge of the D of the Jagiellonia box, back in field to Devlin and out wide to McCrory on the touchline. Comes back to Devlin, and then Jokita. He's had it pinched off him there, but it's a poor touch, takes it out for the throw-in.
He's absolutely done, Jokita, it really is. He's spent, and you can see it when he's taking the ball in now. Even his body language is knackered.
He's managed to flick the ball on towards McCrory, but it's gone out for a throw-in. Again, the Rangers supporters are unhappy about the antics of the officials and the Jagiellonia players as they see the clock tick through the 80th minute.
I think they're probably just disappointed because they don't see their team, you know, 10 minutes to go. It's your home game at Ibrox to stay in the Europa League, and there's just not any real quality on the pitch. Goal-scoring opportunities, they're not opening up or looking like they're going to cut through Jagiellonia, and the frustration you can feel from Derek McInnes on the sidelines, but it's even more so from the stands round about us running out of ideas.
Yeah, you don't see where the goal's coming from.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
That is a fact. They looked more likely in the closing stages last week. There's still time. As it stands, it's going to be the Conference League next week. Hibs through to that stage, the playoffs of that tournament. 2-1 aggregate success over the North Macedonian Skendia. Motherwell leading HJK 2-0 on the night and 3-1 in aggregate, with a tie against Freiburg to come for them. Hearts goalless with Benfica on the night, but 6-1 down in aggregate, and Rangers trailing 3-2 overall here. Throwing up the line is won back by Dragijevic, and then a touch on the far side from Devlin takes it out for a Jagiellonia throw-in. McCrory is switched over to this right side as Derek McInnes jigs things around, and it looks like McHanya's gone to left back for the closing stages. The Rangers supporters are looking on more in hope than expectation right now. Rangers have a throw-in just inside Jagiellonia territory over on that far side. The Rangers left as they attack the Copeland Road. Another change coming up, and Agbenifo, who we saw, the young Swede coming on last week, has got pace to burn, and he has replaced Conceição. The other change looks as though the goal scorer Prelec is coming off. He's been replaced by Yusuf Silla. A couple of changes, and it just runs the clock down a little further for Jagiellonia. We are very much in the box seat here. The Belgian Silla coming on, and the Swede Agbenifo. Good out ball, moving on that far side. Fernandez taking a chance there against Imas. He's managed to get away from him, fires it out to McCrory in the right. Jokita helps it on its way to Shankland. Shankland gets support in the overlap from McCrory, wide in the right, chops back in his left side, still using the right foot, low ball, side foot into Shankland. Back to McCrory down by the corner flag. His cross takes a deflection, headed away. Is it going behind for the corner? Did he go behind for the corner? No, it didn't. Come off McCrory, last goal kick. Ross McCrory's asking where the corner is. Well, it's a goal kick, 7 minutes of the 90 to play here. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 1. It is not good enough right now for the home team.
It's not, Liam, and when you look out onto the pitch and you think to yourself, who's got the X factor here, who's going to stand up in these last 10 minutes, you're struggling to find somebody.
Not helped by the injuries. Rangers supporters will have looked on. They've seen Celtic sign another couple of players in the last couple of days. They will be concerned as Agbenifo gets it from his fellow sub Sela. Dances into the box, low ball across, cut out by Macania. Curtis trying to prevent the throw-in. Has he managed it? Yes, he has. Clears it with the left foot. Good play there by Findlay Curtis, but Shankland can't get onto it. Slipped down the right-hand touchline for Agbenifo. Really deep cross ball in. Steve Schmidt. Jagiellonia still in possession. They try and put this beyond any kind of doubt. Devlin and Miovski combine, but the ball bounces away from their challenge to Imas. The edge of the box, Agbenifo, lovely little reverse. Wojtuchek with the cross, bounces off the defender and behind for a Białystok corner over on the far side. And this game of football right now is being played at completely the wrong end of the field if you're a Rangers supporter, or Derek McInnes for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And the difference is when Jagiellonia are coming forward, they've got runners, they've got movement off the ball, they've got overlaps, they've got options, and you think to yourself watching them, you know, they could cut Rangers open here. When it goes to the other end of the pitch, they're devoid of creativity, I think is the word really I'm looking for.
Derek McInnes has made the worst start by any full-time Rangers manager. Tommy McLean lost his first 3 when he was a caretaker back in '83. It's going to be an in-swinging corner for the visitors towards the back post. The header comes back across the 6-yard line. It's headed for goal and Pandur holds on. Final 5 here. 1 apiece on the night. 3-2 in aggregate to the Poles. Pandur goes long, looking for Jokita. Beaten in the jump there, but it's a foul by Romanchuk. And it'll be a Rangers free kick just inside their own half, right of the centre circle. Can they force even one opportunity here?
Well, you know, I always say you get an opportunity late on in the game, but I'm not entirely convinced in this one.
Europa League also has 2 extra matches, takes you right through to the end of January. Conference League, if you can make it there, takes you to December as the cross from Curtis comes in, the diving header behind by Romanchuk. Rangers have a corner.
Maybe this is it. It's got to be a good delivery in. Pretty much everybody going up for it.
It's positive from Curtis again, though, isn't it?
It was getting down the left-hand side, delivers a cross in. It was last gasp stuff from Romanchuk to turn it behind.
Curtis will take it himself, in swinger with the right foot, and it comes towards the back post on top of the keeper, who punches it away with both fists again. Agbenifo gives chase, as does Jokita. Was he fouled there by the Jaga sub? No, says the referee. It comes off Jokita and out for a Jagiellonia throw-in on this near side, a bit level with their own 18-yard line. As the countdown begins for Montoya, eventually bowls it in field. Romanchuk smacks it clear, and out it goes near Derek McInnes for a Rangers throw-in. Is he going to be waiting for that first win as Rangers manager? St Mirren up next in the League Cup here on Sunday. Joint league leaders as Miovski tries to get onto the ball. Shankland in the box as well, can't get anything onto it, and Jagiellonia scramble it clear out to this near side. Cleared by Montoya, comes over the head of Fernandez and Imas and all the way through to Macania. 87 played, Stephen.
Yeah, it wasn't defended well at all, that situation there by Jagiellonia. Just a ball kind of bouncing about the edge of the box, but it just would not fall. Firstly for Miovski or for Shankland.
Long ball Rangers, Shankland gets onto the edge of the box. Curtis nicks it back towards Dragijevic, but given away. Benifo going after it. Devlin gets there first, rolls it back to Macania. Rangers would take extra time right now, absolutely. It's rolled to the right of the centre circle for Sterling. Time is slipping away from them if they are to keep their dreams of getting through to the league phase of the Europa League alive here. Sterling to Fernandes. Just about midway inside Jagiellonia territory. There's not much space. The visitors have just about everyone back to defend it. Curtis on the far side, it comes across, a good one! The header's wide! Zmijovski! It's about 6 yards from goal. Dragijevic is there too, but neither could get a header on target, and it goes wide of the right-hand post. 88 on the clock. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia 1. That looked as though it was going to be 2-1 on the night.
Yeah, that was the big opportunity. Again, it's Finlay Curtis out on that left-hand side, chops onto his right, puts a brilliant ball right into the middle of the 6-yard box. I think it was Dragijevic who got the last touch with the header. He just kind of flicked it, maybe lost his bearings a wee bit, but it ends up going past the post. It looked only a foot from here.
Rangers have it with McCrory on the right to Jokita, fires it back into his own half for Sterling. Switch of play there to the left of the centre circle for Macania, driving forward down the left. Curtis on the touchline, uses him. Infield to Fernandes, who's going to have to go up to help as an auxiliary striker here by the looks of it. Sterling in the centre circle, out to McCrory. About to tick into minute 90. Jokita tries a back heel at exactly the wrong time, and Montoya picks it up. He does use a back heel much more effectively to Schmidt, and now it's Imas. Agbenifo goes off to his right, driving forward. Jagiellonia, did they take it to the corner or they try and seal it? It's going to be rolled back the way there by Kozlowski to Agbenifo wide on the right, and then infield to Kozlowski, gets away from Devlin. Where's he going with it? So he's going to look for a teammate in the box here. Rolls it back the way to Wojtucic. Out to Agbenifo. Wojtucic again. Oh, that's a poor touch there, although he was unfortunate. It was behind for a Rangers goal kick off Kozlowski. Stoppage time's going to be 4 minutes. Rangers have 4 minutes left to try and salvage their Europa League hopes. They're hanging by a thread. Poor ball out there by Pandur, straight to Agbenifo. Devlin trying to win it back, slides in, wins it back, but the linesman's waving his flag frantically. Free kick Jagiellonia beyond the midway point of the Rangers half over on the right hand side. It's looking like Rangers will be facing Jablonec for a place in the Conference League. Stephen Thompson, not even Europa League solace for them this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to go from bad to worse for this Rangers team and for Derek McInnes' start as the Rangers manager.
Agbenifo clips the free kick in, headed away by Macat. They've still got time, not much of it to play with though. It's all over at Fir Park. A much better story for Motherwell, who go through to the Conference League playoff. Magnificent for Coach Johansson, for his players and for the Motherwell supporters. What a night it will be at Fir Park. Those scenes at full time. 3-1 win over Hajduk Helsinki to go through to the playoffs, where they will face the Germans, Europa League runners-up last season, Freiburg. Hibs already through. Hearts will be in that Conference League playoff round as well. It's looking like Rangers will, as Devlin puts it in, unless they can find the goal. Into the box, it's cleared over the head there by Schmidt. We played one of the 4 minutes that were added on by the Greek referee. McCrory picks up wide in the right. Long high ball into the box. There's a shout for handball. Breaks to Fernandes, to Shanklin, back to the edge of the box. It's wide from Dragijevic. They're claiming a hand in the box. Dragijevic goes to the referee. That's how Rangers managed to get their noses in front of the night after a VAR review for a handball by Kobayashi in the first half.
Well, VAR will be looking at it. I mean, it was a high and hopeful ball into the box by McCrory. Shanklin challenged for it. It kind of bobbled once or twice. He laid it off to Dragijevic, probably about 19 yards out. He tried to just caress and curl it into that left-hand corner.
No sign of a penalty this time, though. The clearance from the goalkeeper. 2 minutes left. Rangers have 2 minutes left to salvage this. With Jagiellonia driving forward. A late goal for... Oh, a late goal here it would be. It's 50 minutes behind us at Tynecastle. Hearts have scored finally now. And it's Thomas Bent Magnuson with the goal. Hearts 1, Benfica 0, but 6-2 in aggregate. Having had the goal earlier from Calvin Miller ruled out. McCrory for Rangers driving down the right, can't get through. One back by Devlin. Agbenifo's going to get there first. Devlin stabs it forward, but it's gone straight to Romanchuk. Out to this left-hand side. Rangers have 90 seconds left to play with. Agbenifo beats Curtis to it. Sterling slams into the challenge well, but it's going to break on that far side for Wojtuszek. Gets it down the right-hand touchline and wins the throw-in. And that will be Jagiellonia throw, and they're going to make a change here with the Greek centre-back Konstantopoulos is going to come on, but this is a time-wasting tactic, and Rangers are heading out of the Europa League, Stephen Thompson.
And it's not going to be good audio for Derek McInnes when this referee finally blows the full-time whistle, although a large section of the support, you have to say, have already left.
Benfica level on the night now, so that didn't last long for Hearts.
Certainly didn't.
Yeah, I mean, unkindly, there's already been comparisons made to Russell Martin last year, but what we have to say is Martin started relatively well but fell off a cliff. Didn't win a league game until it was match day 6, wasn't it, last season?
Yeah, something like that.
You can't see this malaise going on that long for Derek McInnes, but there's clearly doubts amongst a lot of the Rangers supporters right now of the direction the club's going in, if not under the current manager, who's only in the door. If you don't get long here, Martin got till October, and Rangers have contrived to give it away at the back here. Schmidt picks it up. We've just about played the 4 minutes. Be a little bit on top of that because of the sub. Rangers can't get the ball now. Well, they will get a throw in when it's played inside their own half here. And Devlin's taking it quickly. Is there a chance to boot this ball forward? It's gone back, yeah. Back here.
It's got to go forward now.
Macania with a long ball up towards the edge of the Jagiellonia box. Fernandez doesn't get there, beaten in the jump, but Dragijevic has it. First time ball fed in there by Curtis is blocked. Dragijevic wins the header. Curtis helps it on its way, can't find Shankland. We're in a 5th minute, deep into 5th minute of stoppage time. Jagiellonia are pleading for the final whistle. The ball into the area is dreadful, it's headed away, and the referee blows the final whistle. Rangers are out of the Europa League before it's even got started. A round before it gets started. Their first European tie of the season ends in defeat at the hands of the 3rd best team in Poland. Jagiellonia Białystok came from behind to draw the second leg, but last week's win in Poland has proved crucial. Shankland's first goal from the penalty spot for the club after a VAR check had Rangers in front, and as it stood it was going to extra time, but a Prelet's header in the second half of the second leg has taken Jaga through, where they will face Iberia Tbilisi in the Europa League playoff round. And with Hearts heading out of the Europa League as well, it means Conference League for all 4 of tonight's representatives. Good news stories for both Motherwell and for Hibernian. But for Rangers, the wait goes on for Derek McInnes' first victory in charge. 4 games in now, with a League Cup tie against the holder St Mirren to come on Sunday. And they're going to have to dust themselves down and face up to the reality that will be Conference League at best for Rangers this term. They might not have any European football beyond a fortnight's time, unless they can overcome the Czech side Jablonec in the playoff round in UEFA's 3rd tournament, where they have never played. They've done so well in the Europa League down the years, poor last season in the tournament. They're not even going to be part of it this time around. It finished here amidst the boos at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Jagiellonia Białystok 1, and 3-2 the Poles go through on aggregate.
Rangers in the Europa League qualifiers.
What a strike that is!
Live on Sportside on BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, a European special for you. 4 of our clubs in action tonight. My goodness, these Rangers fans making their feelings very clear to Derek McInnes and to his players. I'm anticipating some very strong comments from Andy Halliday and Tom English, who are alongside me in the studio. We will reflect. We'll take the Derek McInnes media conference live on Sports, and what a dreadful start to his campaign as Rangers manager. Before we take a really deep dive into that. Let's just bounce around other games for you, and far better news from a Scottish perspective. Amy Canavan out there at Fir Park.
Absolutely, Kenny. Will somebody please think of the coefficient? Motherwell are doing just that. They will face last season's Europa League finalist Freiburg for a place in the Conference League proper, after two absolutely sensational Ibrahim Said goals saw off HJK Helsinki here at a bouncing Fir Park. We have just had one of the best renditions of Twist and Shout I've ever heard. It's definitely one of the best European nights here in a fair wee while, and it is all thanks to the Nigerian who missed that 1-1 draw in the Finnish capital last week due to visa issues. He made sure that HJK are leaving here tonight knowing exactly who he is. 2 minutes in to the second half, he scored his first, an absolutely thunderous finish after driving down on goal and leaving defenders for dust. Somehow that goal was eclipsed 13 minutes later on the hour mark. He waltzed through the visiting defence like they were not even there, poked beyond a stunned and helpless Matej Markovic, and that was just the sign of an absolutely magic night here in Motherwell for Motherwell. On top of the world is currently ringing out around Fir Park, a special night, and my goodness, they now have an absolutely delicious glamour tie against German giants Freiburg. That is a free hit they can go and enjoy this evening and enjoy the next 2 weeks, because Alfred Johansson's side have put in a magnificent performance tonight, and they end here on aggregate 3-1 against HJK Helsinki. On the night, it is Motherwell 2, HJK Helsinki 0.
Absolutely fantastic. What a time to be a Motherwell fan. A huge challenge for them, of course, against Freiburg, who were beaten last season in the final of the Europa League by Aston Villa. But the Motherwell fans will care not one jot. They are loving life, following on from the fantastic campaign they had under Jens Bertel Askew last season. Plenty more of the same under the new manager this campaign. So very good news there. We'll hear from David Gray shortly. A great job done by Hibs tonight in North Macedonia. Not much of a match, you'd have to say, but that didn't matter. Goalless it finished there, 2-1 to David Gray's side on aggregate. We're just waiting to find out who they will play in the Europa Conference League playoff. It will be Ghent or Gothenburg. Just waiting for the full-time whistle to go in that one. Tom, maybe you can just keep a wee eye across that and we will get to that. But fantastic for him. What a week for David Gray. Of course, winning that first leg at home to Candesia, that late winner at Ibrox on Sunday, and finishing off the job in Europe tonight. So in terms of our two sides in Europa Conference League qualifying, great for Motherwell, great for Hibs. Well done to both of these sides. We'll bring your reaction on Sports. And before we take a deep dive into Rangers, let's cross to Tynecastle. Alan Preston is there for us. Hearts against Benfica. What's happening, Al?
Well, it's 1-1 now, Kenny, and it's been a brilliant second half. Hearts have played really well, don't get me wrong. Benfica, the tie was done over there last week, 6-1 up, but Hearts have played very well in the second half. They've had chances. Guendouzi had a shot just wide, lovely. Goalkeeper had a great save again from Guendouzi, had another effort. Thought they'd taken the lead in 53 minutes. McPake to Miller, but Miller put the ball in the back of the net, but it took about 2 minutes. Eventually they got to the offside, so that was ruled out. But they did take the lead in 77 minutes. Jota, who's come on, done very well, passed it to another sub, Magnuson, left foot shot from 25 yards into the back of the net. But just a minute later, the class shown from Benfica again. Lakaboku, who's hit the shot very similar to Magnuson's left foot from about 20 yards into the back of the net. Really good stuff here, but 1-1, so that'll be 7-2 on aggregate.
Thank you to Alan Preston. A better week, you'd have to say, for Hearts. Very good against Dundee United on Sunday. Sounds like a good performance tonight. They're next in action in the Premier Sports Cup on Sunday. They are up against Inverness Cardiff. So all the Premier Sports Cup action for you in sports and right across the weekend. Kicking off tomorrow night, the Ayrshire Derby at Rugby Park. Should be a great atmosphere there. I think there are about 3,000 Ayr United fans going to that game. One of them joined us on the programme last week. So as you'd expect, we've got you covered right across the weekend, as indeed we have done tonight in terms of this European action. Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod brought us that action from the game there at Ibrox. We'll hear more from Stephen in a minute or so, but Andy Halliday and Tom English are alongside me here in the studio. So Andy, your reaction to what you've just witnessed at Ibrox tonight?
Still relatively quite shell-shocked, to be honest with you, Kenny, and it's not I didn't have supreme confidence that Rangers would go through tonight, but the first half it was a bit more positive. It was the first time they've not been behind. They're going in at half time in the lead. But there's got to be an assumption for me that Tello Asgard was injured, because everything we spoke about at half time was the shape looks decent. They're getting the ball to the wider areas. Gassama and Yokota have looked really dangerous. And Dell went to 4-4-2 at half time, and Rangers lost control of the game, I thought, for the next 15-20 minutes. They couldn't really get towards Jagiellonia's box. They were inviting pressure. Jagiellonia were creating a whole host of chances, but eventually we knew when we were going to come. We've seen that in the first half. We talked about the danger signs that were there, and then the goal comes, and again there was just no real reaction for Rangers at all. Other than the Miovski glancing header with 5 minutes to go, I can't really remember another chance that Rangers managed to create. And even without that, I think that was probably the only real chance that Rangers created for open play over the course of 90 minutes. So again, struggling to create, struggling to score. I thought the penalty they got, to be honest, was pretty soft. I said that at half time. And then incapable of keeping clean sheets. And when you add them all together, it's a mix for no wins.
Right, well, how concerned are you right now, Andy, with what you're seeing from Rangers, with the players that have been recruited, with what you've seen from the new manager, Derek McInnes? It's been a dreadful start to the season. Yeah, it's been a poor start. There's no way to really gloss it over. And as much as Rangers are saying there's still 3, 4, 5 signings to come in, they have to be their best players. I mean, they essentially have to be their best players that are going to come in. They have to be guaranteed starters, and they have to be upgrades in what they've got at this moment in time. But again, you're looking at the players to come on and try and make an impact. It was Dragiellonia and Cammy Devlin, 2 holding midfield players. Ross McCrory comes on at fullback. Miovski, who's been out the picture, comes on. So there's no doubt whatsoever that Rangers need bodies in the door. But the current squad that's available should be enough to beat Dundee United. It should be enough to beat Hibs, and to be honest with you, it should be enough to beat Jagiellonia. I thought they were a side that looked comfortable in possession, but I don't think Jagiellonia should be coming to Ibrox and imagine to get a draw. It takes them through to the next round. Just before I bring Tom in, just finally on that change of shape at half time, if it was an injury to Asgard, did Derek McInnes need to change shape, do you think? I'm not too sure. He must have seen something in the first half, because we did say that Jagiellonia had looked dangerous on a couple of occasions. They had created a couple of chances, but the positivity we spoke about in Rangers was the wide areas. And I thought getting the ball to Gassama and Yokota, I thought every time they got in the ball, they looked as if they were going to make an impact. And that kind of 3-man midfield with Dan, Neil, Raskin and Asgard got Rangers loads of control. I thought in the first half they had just shy of 60% possession. They lost a fair chunk of that in the second half. And then, like he says, when they went to that 4-4-2, it all became pretty rigid again. They lost control. They weren't able to be as progressive as we said they were in the first half. And then even then, you're expecting, can you try and make a change to kind of get the game to swing back in your favour? But then the goal comes at a really poor time, because Rangers just about to make 2 subs. And then I then actually thought, is you're going to tell either Dragiellonia or Raskin to sit down and make a more attacking substitution? They went to go with the 2 guys to come on and try and make a difference, and it never really came. And Derek McInnes said at Tannadice that they fought hard to get back into the game. They got the equaliser under Asgard, and his biggest disappointment was they then never kicked on. I think a big disappointment for tonight was as soon as Jagiellonia got the goal, Rangers never really looked at responding. It's got to be hugely concerning for the manager and the fans, Tom. They made their feelings very, very clear on the final whistle, and rightly so.
Yeah, rightly so. The team were awful in the second half. Didn't create a chance really. I wait to hear why that substitution was made, with McCrory coming on and going back to a back 4. Because McCrory comes on, he plays left back. Then he materialises at right back. It was kind of very confused. Rangers didn't have any control, no quality. Lawrence Shankland looks like he was just unfit. I don't know why he's in the team, quite honestly. He's the captain, fine. But he doesn't look like he's sharp. He looks nothing like the Lawrence Shankland of last season. I thought the whole thing was really, really poor. This team looks like an aimless team right now. They don't look like they know what they're doing. The players that played tonight were signed for about £33 million. That was a £33 million team that we saw tonight. Absolute waste of money for a lot of them. On that evidence, they'll get better. Some will get better. You'd imagine Derek McInnes will get a hold of it But if he doesn't get a hold of it very, very quickly, he's going to find the Rangers' support are just not having him. He needs to get results, and he needs to get them quickly, and he needs to get order, because it's kind of scattergun.
They need to see something they can believe in, the Rangers fans.
He's changing masses of players from game to game. He's changing players at half time. Nobody has a clue. I know he's got injuries. I know that, and we cut him some slack there. But he seems to be in serious trouble here in terms of getting a coherent, cohesive team on the pitch, because none of the games we've seen that. We've seen it first half. I thought they were okay. They had width out wide with Gassama and with Jokita. Two of them were very much involved in the game. Jokita particularly, he crosses for the penalty. Went out of it second half. No threat whatsoever. I mean, it was remarkable. The lights went out. Jagiellonia they're a decent team. No more than that. No more than that. But Rangers are not a decent team. Rangers are a poor side.
Right, before we get further thoughts from Stephen Thompson, Alan Preston, the full-time whistle has just gone at Tynecastle.
Yeah, 1-1, and a really good display from Hearts, especially in the second half, Kenny. Benfica, class above. They won the tie last week when they won 6-1. Magnuson scored the goal for Hearts in 77 minutes. Lakabuku equalised 1 minute later. So that's Benfica go through. Hearts next week will play Rapid Vienna here next Thursday night at Tynecastle. Final score 1-1 on aggregate. Hearts 2, Benfica 7.